night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I just know we found something so loud of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground from your sanctuary.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
I've told you 1,000 times, Michelle is not a man, okay? So please stop calling her Big Mike. She really hates that. I really don't know what else to say. I just need you guys to believe me, okay? Michelle is not a man, I promise. So stop calling her Big Mike, okay?
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
I am struggling extremely with mental health issues, and I am trying to do that whilst being FTFE. And unfortunately, talking to flat earthers is quite painful.
All right. Thank you, Craig.
Riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home.
Law. Nowhere in nature or in a controlled environment can we ever produce a volume outside of containment.
What's that?
Has gas been seen or
what's that, brother?
Now let me see you whack. Drop it to the flow, drop it to the flow, then.
Chicken, banana, chicken, banana, chicken, banana, banana, banana.
I remember when I lost my mind.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. And there's somebody here that was just here to see the fart girl. Who was that? I'm going to play it one more time just for them, just because we're there.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Sex appeal and talent. That right there. I mean, who could choreograph a fart to fit into the beat of a song? That's talent. That is talent. Somebody needs to get her in touch with Ed McMahon. Or is he even still alive? Ed McMahon, Star Search and all that. I think he's dead, isn't he? Yeah, I think he is probably. Wow, look at everybody that's back here tonight. We got Brad and Tasha, Cylon Killer, Crypt Rick. How you doing, buddy? Got Awakened Nemesis, Lisa Marie Tattersall, Gordzilla, KK Westbury. We got Mr. Tahiti, Post Anything, Spyro Graffiti, Eldon Beans. See, that's who that was for. The fart girl was for Eldon. He likes her. And who can blame him? I mean, right there. And Eldon, kudos to you for being able to recognize talent and sex appeal. Horse sheet. Let's see. We got that one. Brad, Tasha, we did. David is here. Cylon Killa. We got one more quarter. Austin Murphy. What's happening, buddy? Rick Swain. We got Michael King. The Fallen Slaves Us All. Let's see if I messed up. Awakened Nemesis. I think we got you. Veronica Joseph is here tonight. David. Yes, we are doing a different time here tonight. I'm going to try to do them a little earlier than I usually do. It's kind of hard. There's Saddlebum with us here tonight. Ready to go is here. Justina. Boy, I got all kinds of people in here. Gordzilla, I see. What do we got? 78 already over on this side. How many over on the Rumble side? Be sure you are subscribed to the Rumble side because we are going to watch a movie here sometime, probably this week. Most likely closer to this weekend. But yeah, I'm going to pick something good for us. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a silly sci-fi movie. Could be something pretty deep. I'll decide between now and then. But also this works out better for me because when I, happen to work, I got that 5-minute commute, which isn't much, just up the road. But yeah, we're moving along like a herd of turtles on a plate glass window as far as that's concerned. See, what's everybody talking about here tonight? Anything going? No? Well, there's some crazy shit going on here. I just found this a little while ago. It looks like it's part of something put up by my lunch break. I recognize the video format and the voice, but it's concerning these Nephilim, and this is some interesting shit. This is only just about less than 3 minutes, but just to kind of get the conversation started, right? Listen too, if you want to, the link is pinned in the chat. If you want to come on up, you got something on your mind, don't matter, bring it and let's yak. Oh, look at there. There goes my phone. Well, let me play this.
People have 6 fingers and 6 toes, and they are the leaders. And they are also giants. Showing that this group, in my opinion, this is the Nephilim, they are gone. And there were so many more of them here in the past. The past being around 500 years ago, in my opinion. I personally believe that this group did leave, with some dying from the catastrophic event that took place. The event that melted buildings. The event that covered this place with mud. But I also believe that their DNA lives on, a very small amount. I believe these 140 people per year, they might just have traces of this dominant trait. And so many times we saw that the head, the arms, the hands and the feet were removed from the depictions of our true past. The old world statues. And we see they are so deliberately removed. A perfect cut over and over. We always speculated that it was hiding more. And I believe today that we have fully exposed what it was hiding all along. Hiding that the Nephilim were here and extremely involved in the way that things were done. The leaders in every continent, I believe that we have opened up a brand new door that explains so much more about where we are. And I will never look at a statue without a head, without its feet, and without its hands the same ever again. One thing we can't overlook is how these traits.
I was saying, as I just noticed, his dog's over here drinking water like it's going out of style. But polydactyl phenomenon is quite common. If you really look into it, I mean, it's not like it happens every day, that kind of thing, but they do. There are instances with people born with an extra digit and whatnot, and they surgically remove it, so that they look kind of normal or whatever. But that ain't what we're talking about with this. There was a race. And there probably still is. Who's to say these elite, when they're born, you don't know what the hell's going on with them, what they're doing. These people don't go to the same hospitals as you do. They don't go to the same doctors. They don't even eat the same food you do. They're in a completely different world, man. One that you know very little about.
6 fingers, 6 toes, and towering size weren't just physical. They symbolized something so much deeper. Power, or even a connection to forces beyond this world, as we were told with the Moon People, or the Watchers. Across so many cultures, these individuals weren't just leaders. They were gods, warriors, and builders. Their influence shaped everything, including the massive architecture that's still here today. What if the missing hands and feet on these statues weren't just about hiding the truth, but also about erasing a lineage, erasing who once ruled and what they were capable of? It's not just about what's missing, it's about what they don't want us to see. This isn't just history we're uncovering. It's a blueprint to understanding what they don't want us to know. The Nephilim were here, and that changes everything. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll be back very soon with so much more. See ya.
And this is it. Now, bear with me on this. So once these beings, I think, were mostly killed off, perhaps in the flood, as it's described in scripture, we know that demons are the disembodied spirits, or at least we're told that the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, who have no place on earth or in heaven. Now, I think that given the right genetic pattern and having the right genetic markers, may be a way for these disembodied spirits to harness a human host and still rule. but only through a human host. You understand? Kind of like on that TV show Stargate, how there was this parasitic entity that lived within a human host, and they would pose as gods. And they would have powers that were beyond the mortal humans. This thing would have regenerative capabilities, keeping the immune system completely perfect and that kind of thing. So once these beings died, they've perhaps found a way to still rule through certain bloodlines that are compatible for them to be able to inhabit. I don't know, just food for thought, kind of something interesting to think on. I don't know, tell me what you think about it. Where's all the people? Where's my peeps? Oh, look at there. Oh, that's me. I don't know where Cubby's at. I don't know.
That's an intriguing concept, blending ideas about advanced biology, genetic compatibility, and historical theories of control. It leans into conspiracy theories and esoteric speculation, specifically the idea of ancient powerful beings maintaining influence through specific royal bloodlines, often connected to myths of superior genetics or alien origins. From a scientific standpoint, the idea of an immune system being completely perfect is not supported by current biology, and there's no evidence of a mechanism for a consciousness or spirit to inhabit a genetically compatible body across generations in that manner. As for where is all the people, that touches on theories about lost civilizations and the disappearance of large groups like the Maya or the Indus Valley civilization, often attributed to environmental catastrophe, drought, climate change, warfare, or social upheaval, disease/plague. These theories are thought-provoking, but they were...
All right, so y'all heard that thing, right? I didn't ask this phone anything. It listened to what I said and then gave a response to it. This shit is getting out of control. It was talking about what I just said, but it said that it was a pretty good theory. But I think that's what the AI is supposed to do. I think it's supposed to stroke your ego so that you'll keep using it. You know what I'm saying? Wow, that was really kind of freaky. Well, let me see here. Oh, this is kind of interesting right here. And I mean, we are really in, this world is evil. It really is. I was talking to the guy at work today. We were doing some work down here on the trailer. And of course, we had our Virginia elections today. I have no idea who won, the governor or any of that shit. But the guy was telling me, the guy was telling me his wife, she works for a medical facility, you know, in the administration aspect of it. And she heard these two women talking in the office, and they had no idea. They had just now found out that the Winsome Sears, who was running for governor, was currently the lieutenant governor. They didn't even know. They didn't even know. And they're going to go and vote. Had somebody on the local town page put a post on there and said, why do we have these elections like that? Didn't we already have an election for a president? And I'm thinking to myself, you don't understand how none of this works. You're a grown adult and you don't understand how this thing actually, they didn't teach you nothing. They didn't teach you anything. Is civics like out? They don't teach civics. I just commented, wow. I was just like, wow. I can't believe that there's grown adults walking around that just don't know anything. And they want to engage in everything, but they don't know anything about what they're engaging in. It's so sick. It really is. We're definitely in the last days, hopefully, because man, we can't sustain like this much longer. We really can't. So anyway, check this out.
Oh,
big bong hit.
The Babylon system makes me ill. Babylon is not just politics. It's not just corporations. It's not just the system. Babylon is an energetic grid that feeds on your unconscious consent. Bear with me.
Every time you react instead of respond, every time you abandon your gut to keep the peace, every time you trade your truth for belonging, you pay Babylon in soul currency. Sovereignty is not rebellion. Sovereignty is not escape. Sovereignty is your refusal to leak your life force energy to systems that were never God's design. Babylon thrives on hurry, produce, consume. So sovereignty moves at God's pace. Babylon thrives on fear, obligation, and guilt. So sovereignty anchors in stillness and peace. Babylon thrives on illusion. Sovereignty chooses to refuse to feed the illusion and see with spiritual sight. Stay vertical. Listen to source and source alone. Anchoring into sovereignty looks like this. You stop answering to every demand. You start weighing every voice against the frequency of truth. You learn to let silence be a sword sharper than words. Sovereignty is not, I don't care. It's, I care so deeply that I refuse to betray myself. I will not betray my alignment for your comfort. The parasite cannot survive on a sovereign host. In a sovereign host. When you choose presence over programming, when you choose God over conscious conditioning, the parasite starves. This is quantum alchemy. This is how we starve the beast system. Not by running away, but staying rooted, unshaken, sovereign, and untouchable. This illness that I'm experiencing is my body rejecting that beast system that I have been in. Make no mistake, it's in spiritual communities to use your discernment. Refuse to abandon yourself. Glory be to God. This change that we're all experiencing, this death, this dissolving of what's false, it's the beast system crumbling. Babylon Bridge is motherfucking burning. Whew.
I think she almost had a titty fall out there when she caught
Are
it.
you muted or is that me, Seth?
It must be you, unless
Must
y'all
be me.
can't.
I'll be right back.
Y'all can hear me all right, right? Yeah? Good? Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is some more of that crazy shit that they're doing. Listen, this is getting serious. This is how you know that we're over the target. This is how you know that the crumbling of Zog is happening right now. This is how you know. When they try to pull this bullshit on Twitter, you hear me now?
Yeah, it's my end usually.
Yeah, when they try to pull this bullshit like they're doing on Twitter, this is some crazy shit. Twitter is inserting Laura Loomer content into other people's tweet reviews. So like when you go through your feed, you're only seeing the tweet review. When you click on it or hit it with your finger, then it'll go to the tweet. And what they're finding out is here's some shit, and you click on it and you go to it, and it's not even what the person said. They're just putting the wrong preview up, but not just the wrong preview. It's pro-Israel bullshit previews. They're really, I mean, they're going hard at this. If they're going in to hack that kind of shit and run it like that, man, come on. You got it. What's that tell you? You get the most flack when you're over the target, right?
That and they're losing the propaganda war. But
that's it right there. And that's all they really have is the propaganda war, because without that propaganda, without that, oh, the Holocaust, oh, we have a right to exist, we have a right to defend it, blah, blah, blah. Without all that bullshit and people seeing through it, without our support, they don't have spit. Without U.S. support, they have absolutely nothing.
Start calling them Tokyo Rose.
They're basically a huge
flyers everywhere.
Welfare state. That's what they are. They're an ethno welfare state. There's no other way to describe Israel. Yeah. And we are responsible through proxy and also through the formation of propaganda. We're just as guilty of the deaths of those people in Gaza as the IDF is. I'll just say that straight up. We as the United States as a nation, you know. I mean, we've spoken out against it, but who the fuck gonna listen to us, right? Who's gonna listen to us when you got Ted Cruz, who vowed to go into Congress, go into the Senate as the most avid supporter of Israel. That shouldn't be like your primary reason for going into the Senate. I'm just saying, I would say maybe it's for the people of Texas. Just saying.
You know what? A big part of this I feel they're setting up is, you know how we know it goes back and forth every year with the Democrats, Republicans. I think this might be the sway that gets, oh, we got to get rid of the Republicans and bring the Democrats back in because they're going to fix our problems now. You know, it's always back and forth.
Yep,
You
Tom
know,
and Jerry.
they'll lose the Republicans because they had, you know, if you're one of these people that believes this, you know, left right thing, it's like if you go by that, you'd think that, oh, the Republicans are winning. They're winning on all these issues, and when at the same time they're, you know, just the uniparty, they're both in it all together, and that's how they keep control between the two of themselves. So yeah, I
Yep.
just see this as going their new issue where they're going to lose on this Israel propaganda and then give the Democrats their big little wave to take over again, you know, even though it's the same thing anyway, so it don't really matter.
Well, the thing is that both left and right are seeing it. They're trying to turn it into a left-right issue. They really are.
Yeah.
But it's not. I think more and more people are coming onto the idea and realizing that this false left-right paradigm, it's getting old. It's not working.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, your normies, your NPCs and shit, of course, they're gonna still go with it. They don't have any choice but to. They're programmed to.
Yeah.
But those of us out here that think, those of us out here that use critical thinking skills and are not foolish enough to try to kick the football again, because we know Lucy's going to pull the fucking thing out from in front of us every time. So we just don't even try. Beat the shit out of Lucy and take the fucking football. That's the best.
Sometimes, so I'm curious, what's your take on like my uncle? When Trump was running again this time around, he is fully on board, fully MAGA, but he's starting to see through the veil. But at the same time, there's certain things that he's willing to see, like health issues or whatever. Well, just little parts of it he can see, the Israel thing. But then there's other parts like he's fully on board, like the lesser of two evils type of thing. I don't know where those people stand. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to like pick them out. It's like you see all this bad stuff happening, but at the same time you think, oh, I'll just pick the lesser of two evils.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest problem too. That's what they do, is this lesser of two evils. It's still evil.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we've said before, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I think that they ought to have a none of the above option if people are going to vote, have a none of the above option. Here's left guy, here's right guy. Neither one of them are worth a shit. Here's the none of the above option. None of the above wins. Then you got to go back to the square one. Get somebody worth a fuck.
I just wonder like where the full breakthrough comes in. Like for most, you know, everybody here is generally in your chat or that type of circle that they run in. Like we all get it, but you know, there's some people that are kind of stuck in the in between, like my uncle.
Well, there was a lot of people when they was under the spell, you know, and some that still are, that if you speak out against Trump reneging on everything that he campaigned on, going completely against the America first rhetoric, putting Israel first, going against the no useless, endless wars, parking ships off the coast of Venezuela and blowing up people's water skiing vacations and shit.
Yeah.
You know, putting out this ungodly amount of money for the Israeli forces to commit genocide, and nobody else in the world dare do anything else about it because of us. Because of us, they're afraid of us. Nobody's afraid of Israel. They're afraid of us. And it's because we have this unwavering support for them. Well, with that crumbling, I think that that's going to be a good thing, because right now, any new foreign war, especially on the behest of Israel, and people are realizing this shit, that this thing down here isn't about narco-terrorism. It's about the biggest goddamn oil field in the Western Hemisphere, in Venezuela. And he wants that. He wants that. Same thing with Nigeria. They suddenly care about the Nigerian Christians all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's always
Doesn't
about
have anything to
resources.
do- Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the huge fucking oil reserves. Nothing, not at all. See, this guy, and people are seeing through that. They're realizing that this guy hoodwinked us. He totally hoodwinked us. And the longer they keep that Epstein list, the more and more people are realizing it's because that motherfucker's on it too. They're all on it. They say if that Anthony Weiner laptop made it out, if the people actually knew what the fuck was on there, it would topple the entire world. And I believe it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
we
doubt it.
know without seeing it, we know what's on it. We know what these people are into.
I'm sure
We
that's
know
where
who these-
Frazzle Drip came from and stuff
Oh,
like that.
absolutely. It is
Yeah.
off Anthony Weiner in a folder called insurance policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably just tip of the iceberg. Well, that's a bad analogy, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Tip of the iceberg.
it really is. And when you get into it in Clinton's involvement with the Mothers of Darkness, that's where this whole 1,000 points of light bullshit came from because of the ritual room. I mean, man, I've been down a rabbit hole with a lot of twists and turns, some that lead into dead ends, but a lot of them that have led to this worldwide demon worshiping, Satan worshiping fucking cabal that is running the world. And this is exactly what we've got going on. There is no doubt about it. Evil is real. Monsters are real. Witches eat children. And it's happening every day, all the time. People just don't realize, how deep this goes. I mean, you look at even with this Charlie Kirk thing. Okay, so here's Erica was involved with these Romanian angels, which was tied to trafficking. Okay. And then you got this other fucking guy that's the chief of staff. He was involved with some other goddamn child trafficking orphanage thing. Now they're wanting to start one in Chicago.
Stands to reason. I didn't catch the beginning of this. Did you talk about one of the monsters that just passed away today?
Oh, no, I didn't. Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney, yeah. I hope he's getting I hope Satan's pissing up his asshole right now. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude,
it's amazing how they always it ain't till they leave office of some sort that they always finally kick the bucket. But yeah.
You remember when he shot that dude in the face by accident? That dude he shot in the face apologized to Dick Cheney for getting shot in the face. He apologized.
That's a cuck job right there.
You got to wonder what kind of, and his daughter, if it's really a female, Liz.
Yeah, right.
She's a fucking pig.
That seems like a mafia hit, though. You're right. Like, hey, come out hunting with us, and
right. Yeah, oops.
Take care of that for me, guys. I'm sorry.
I jerked my coat. Oh shit. Oh, I'm sorry for getting shot in the face by you. Yeah, it's like,
right.
Who does that? But yeah, it's getting very obvious. They've actually said pretty openly, and the way they put that how'd they say that these like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens need to be eliminated? And I was like, that's interesting wording. Eliminated? What do you mean by that?
Eliminated or go with? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
eliminated or go with the rest of the these characters that are hidden from us now.
Oh my God! Well, yeah, and they're getting this desperate right here. This is bad as Globetards. Bad as Globetards. Watch this.
Check this shit out. So there's some kind of glitch going on where it's going to have this pro-Israel bullshit on people's post. And then when you click the post and you're like, oh, this guy doesn't normally support Israel. Then you click on the post and you see what he really says. But it's showing up as this bullshit on a lot of people's posts, and they're not saying this. It got to be some kind of hack. X is definitely being compromised.
Well, there it is. It's Laura Loomer's tweet.
Yep.
That's what got substituted for Evan Kilgore's tweet.
Laura Loomer.
Why, she's a hooker.
She gets worse by the day.
Laura Liquor.
Golly. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
that's one of the chosen people, see?
Yes, it is. That's what I was
There's-
about to say. It seems to be all the people that got the Epstein Phase 1 folder, you know.
Isn't it amazing how beautiful these chosen people are?
Yeah.
You know, that's what amazes me, because you would figure they would be the like most angelic and beautiful of all of God's people.
Yeah. Well, it's all put together by filters and plastic surgery and Botox and everything else. So, you know, when you get to see these people underneath all that, they're not very pretty, skin deep or further down.
So you remember how quick Charlie or Kash Patel shut down any investigation into foreign involvement?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Kash Patel.
Yeah.
He just like shut down any investigation into any foreign involvement, right?
Yeah.
Candace popped him again, man. She found out that there were 12 cell phones registered to Israel on UVU campus the day Charlie Kirk was shot.
Yeah.
12.
I know she's got sources and everything, but I find it interesting that I don't know.
Yeah, where's
it's
she
like
getting
everything
all this?
funnels through her and then is passed on to the rest of us.
That's what I gotta wonder. How is she getting this information?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure she's got plenty of people on the job, but even still, it's like even if you got a big team, it just seems like she's being fed information that not many of us are privy to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the fact that I think that she goes on kind of around, you know, nobody really watches TV as much these days, but she's kind of on prime time hours, you know, like she would be on a regular show, prime time type of thing.
She come on at what, 4 or 5 or something like that? Here.
Yeah. So, you know, that would be like a prime time show if TV were as popular as it once was. So basically, she's podcasting the prime hours of TV.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Mark Levin is an understanding. He's a dinosaur from the legacy media. See, he's a dinosaur from the legacy media, and he doesn't realize that people have pretty much shit canned the legacy media, your main news outlets like Fox and CNN and shit like that. The only ones still watching that shit are boomers and, you know, NPCs. And they got their flavor of whether it's going to be liberal influence or whether it's going to be conservative influence.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what you got. But more and more people are watching these people on YouTube and on Rumble and on X and these other places. They're getting their information and their news and everything from there, and not from these mainstream sources anymore.
Yeah. And even kids, you know, younger generation, and they're going to social media for their news, TikTok, whatever else, X, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you know, even YouTube's not as big as it once was. It's still there, but, you know, as far as the younger kids go, that's kind of they're more social media leaning, Instagram, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit gets around really quick. It gets around. Yeah. And the thing is, too, is that they can't, it was one thing to control information when there was, you know, only a few stations. But let's look at this realistically, including myself. There are literally thousands and thousands of stations that are out there going over all this bullshit, you know, and it's hard for them to control. So they're having a meltdown to the point where they have to actually pull the shit like this going on with X and, you know, trying to implement free speech laws, you know, or if you say anything about, and this is how they do it. I'm allowed to criticize Nigeria, Canada, China, Britain, even the United States. But if I criticize Israel for some reason, automatically that makes me an anti-Semite. Why? That don't make any sense.
Hypothetical question, but yeah.
So that spell is wearing off now. They've used it too much. People are going, look, it ain't about Jews. It don't matter who's doing it. You people are doing some shit that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're while you're screaming that everybody's racist for pointing that out, you're actually the ones that are racist. You're the ones that have the apartheid state. You're the ones that put people who are not Jews in an open air prison, deny them basic human rights, and basically as second class citizens. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's basically like kings and queens of the old age. You know, they saw that their people were starting to rise up and come for their spot, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Uh-oh, we can't have that." You know, so then they start making everybody, you know, people disappear. People, you know, they start putting out propaganda against people to get other people to turn on them. You know, they do whatever they can to keep their power, just like all these fools. But yeah. I said kings and queens, but I guess the governments act like that to this day. So yeah.
Sure. Every one of these fucking people in the House and Senate, they act entitled.
Yeah.
Like they're cut from a better cloth than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like they're not even accountable to you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like bullshit. Who do you think you are, Van Halen? You know, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. This is kind of interesting.
Holy shit. Did you just hear?
Especially in light of, you know, that was, you know, and I don't think Charlie Kirk was actually killed.
Yeah.
This is all a thing. But it's in this storyline. I did think that was awful weird that the first people to go out there on Twitter and say anything was Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh, I just heard about Charlie Kirk. We didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
You know? You'd be like, hey, Chad, that's a pretty nice truck. Yeah, I didn't steal it.
Yeah, right.
What? Who said anything about you stealing it? Well, nobody, but I didn't. You know, it's like,
why are all the cookies gone? I didn't eat them.
Yeah, right. It was just so weird. But I mean, 12 cell phones? Holy shit.
Holy shit. Did you just hear Candace? Candace just found out that there were 12 Israeli purchased cell phones on the ground at Utah Valley University. And maybe this just maybe is one of the reasons why Kash Patel was freaking out and needed to shut down Joe Kent's investigation into a foreign intelligence agency involved in the Charlie Kirk assassination. Check this clip out.
And nobody had accused them. A thief runneth when no one pursueth, right? Well, here's some explosive news for you that I can now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, confirm. Putting my name on this. Not only can I confirm this, but I can publicly challenge the very Zionist occupied Trump administration, who is aware of this, to deny it, to come out and say, no, that's not true. Okay. And if Kash Patel is done crying about the mean tweets on the internet regarding his sensational singing girlfriend, he can also certainly make the time of day to deny what I am saying if it is untrue, right? Because this is pretty relevant. Now, I should say that some people had actually reported this earlier, like Mel. I've been telling you to follow her, Village Crazy Lady over on X. She was actually very early with this reporting, and I had heard rumors and rumblings, but I wanted to make sure that I had verifiable proof, enough proof that I would go out on a limb, as I'm doing right now, and asserting that it is authentic and it is real. Ladies and gentlemen, there were, for whatever reason, 12 Israeli cell phones on the ground at Utah Valley University the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This has completely spooked the people that are very high up in government. Now, to be clear, I don't mean that there were 12 VPNs that were switched and routed through Israel on that day. I mean that there were 12 personal cell phone accounts that were opened in Israel, okay? Like you go into Verizon in Tennessee or in Connecticut and you open your phone. I am saying that they opened their phones in Israel, those accounts in Israel, and they were on the ground on September 10th at Utah Valley University when Charlie was shot. Now, the NSA knows this. Kash Patel knows this. People in the current administration know this, and they are desperate for some reason to stop that information from being released to the public. Why? Because they're the most transparent administration ever? Is that why? Is this like Jeffrey Epstein transparency that we're getting? Because that's what it feels like. It always seems that on the topic of this one nation that's only the size of New Jersey and has done nothing wrong ever and was truly the greatest friend to Charlie right up until the very end, never put any pressure on him, suddenly everybody abandoned their values.
Whoa. Hang on, let me get it back over here.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun. 12D chess, that's right, Jordan.
6 million D chess.
Yeah, with mixed with Parcheesi and some other stupid shit that they try to float by. Trust the plan. Just trust the plan. So it's like, what? They have absolutely no choice but to stage another 9/11 false flag?
Something.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. You know who got in the the Defense Department press pool?
No.
Laura Loomer.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So let's
they
talk
kinda
about
put-
Laura Loomer.
What is it?
Nothing. I was just gonna say they kind of put their own people in once they get in there, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Listen, I've heard him talk about this and that these fucking IDF and Israelis just have free reign to just all through the Pentagon. It's like unchecked completely.
So let's talk about Laura Loomer getting this job as the Pentagon and the Pentagon press corps. Okay. Over the last couple months, they've really been ratcheting up the rhetoric about how we're about to see another 9/11 style false flag attack. There's Muslim sleeper cells all across America. You have people like Sarah Adams going on the Sean Ryan podcast and telling you if you question Building 7 and the narrative around Building 7, you're actually helping Al-Qaeda. And Al-Qaeda, because of the Biden administration, has opened our borders and there's sleeper cells all across our country. And our FBI can spy on your every text. They know where every dollar is you spent. They know everything about you as the American citizen. And they have literally deep underground military bases, which we know because William Cooper, before they assassinated him, was exposing it all. If you've ever read his book, Behold the Pale Horse, it's absolutely mind-blowing the amount of information that our government collects and stores on every single American citizen, and then just gives that information over to Israel. Now you mix in AI to the mix, where they literally have the ability to listen to every call, every text message, analyze it using words and keywords and trigger alerts and fucking investigations into key people. Okay, like Kash Patel didn't just magically stumble upon some dude who in Michigan was allegedly connected to ISIS and was going to carry out this massive terrorist plot because our FBI is so fucking talented at the job they did.
Listen, I call bullshit on that whole story too. I do. Foiled a terrorist plot and just outside of Dearborn, Michigan. No, I don't think.
I forgot about that.
Anytime the FBI catches somebody, it's some shit that they set up themselves. That's how this shit usually goes, man. You'll find out there was about 5 or 6 FBI agents that coerced some dimwit into fucking holding on to some explosives for them and the shit, and then they go in there and bust on them. It's age-old shit. The fucking FBI was founded on corruption, man. J. Edgar Hoover was a dirtbag, man. The dude was a dirtbag from day one, and a weird motherfucker too, man. Lived with his mom, gay as a $3 bill. This guy was something else, cross-dresser. Real short little fucker guy. He was worried about his height too. I remember a long time ago, I met a guy that had retired from the FBI that my grandfather knew somehow. And he was talking about when you go in as a new agent and you get to meet the director, right? They said they were instructed not to look at his feet because he had a box that he would stand on behind his desk when he was meeting the new agent, so he didn't appear to be so short. So yeah,
Had a complex, huh?
oh yeah, real complex, control freak, very paranoid little man, and that's usually the persona of somebody who's a sneaky little fucker. They're usually really paranoid. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Really
What's
weird.
this guy's name on screen again? Somebody.
Ryan Mata.
Yeah, Ryan Mata. I couldn't remember. Okay, there you go, Edwin.
There you go. You would ask him for a box of what?
Chocolates.
Oh yeah. So we got Spanberg. I figured it would be. Listen, the deciding areas for elections nowadays just happens to be Northern Virginia and Richmond, and they're full of fucking liberal weirdos.
Oh yeah, have they gotten any closer to a result there?
Yeah, I guess Locksmart said that the Virginia governor is Spanberg.
Oh, okay. I hadn't been paying attention to any of that. But...
Oh yeah, the commercials for her were terrible from the Republican. The Republican put out a thing and said, "Oh, she wants to make young girls have to shower with boys and in the locker rooms and all this other shit, and she's all for all this horrible stuff, and she's terrible for Virginia." And then you go watch Spanberger's fucking video, her commercial about the Republican, and they're going, "Oh yeah, she did this, and she's a horrible person, and she doesn't care about this, that, and the other." And I'm like, wow. So both of them are a fucking piece of dirt. I'm not voting for either one.
So which way does the Virginia like congressman and Senate swing?
Well, usually it's made a migration toward liberal.
Is it okay?
For a period of time, but this area, most of Virginia is pretty much conservative.
Yeah,
it's these high population areas up near DC, like as far down as Winchester, that tend to have a huge liberal undertaking there.
I just wasn't sure if it was going to be one of them, like the House and Senate swung one way, and then you got a Democrat, Republican governor, whatever, and it's the opposite, and they can't get anything done,
Well, hell, they only get
they're working against us type of deal, but
they only get a 2-year term.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and it's like, fuck, what are you going to get done in that period of time with all this bureaucracy?
Just campaign for your next term. That's all they do.
I'm not sure how they do that, if they can actually serve a consecutive term.
Governors?
Some kind of rule here. The Commonwealth's really weird. We have a really weird.
I was going to say, we've had Pritzker for the last 2 terms, I think, 2, if not 3.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. Virginia is a Commonwealth. It's not a state.
Yeah.
But it might as well be a state, because they've gone further and further away from common law than anything you could imagine. So it's
good.
I don't know. Just some
good luck going through Illinois' governorship history and not finding the worst possible candidates ever. But anyway,
it's always been, especially with Chicago. Chicago's going to call it. Chicago's going to call what the fuck happens in Illinois. Everybody knows
every time.
And we know that's that's a organized crime mecca.
Mafia, yeah.
They had the same thing in New York with Tammany Hall. That goes all the way back, man, way back into the 1800s. And it's basically like organized crime deciding the elections and who goes up for the candidacy and that kind of thing. Who's going to be able to grease who.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bullshit. The whole thing is. So I say we need to just rip it down and start over.
Yep.
What would you replace it with? Well, let me ask you this. If you had a cancer tumor and you went to a surgeon to have that cancer tumor removed from your body, would you replace it with another cancer tumor? No. So why would I replace, once I got rid of this bullshit, why would I replace it with something else?
Yeah. That's why when they're talking about getting rid of Beetlejuice here, Lori
God,
Lightfoot,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm sure they've got somebody better on store for us after that. It's like, forget about it, dude. It doesn't matter. They just replace them with someone worse.
Well, what does that say about the collective mentality of people that thing won an election?
Yeah, it was Rahm Emanuel, Beetlejuice, now Brandon Johnson. Look at that. We've only went up, right?
Wow, yeah. Remember when she was her and her girlfriend or whatever it is, dressed up like some kind of superheroes and shit for COVID?
Yeah,
I was like, are you
false?
Wow.
You can't be anybody else but Beetlejuice.
They're so out of touch with reality. They just really are so out of touch with reality. The president of the United States comes out in front of the people doing the stupidest, whitest fucking dance you could ever do to a gay anthem that suggests grooming of young men. What the hell does he think that song YMCA is all about?
Yeah.
And he comes out and everybody just thinks that's fucking groovy. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, he's like the Messiah. You know he's a Jew, right? You know he converted over to Judaism, right? You know that, right? Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, he did way back in 2018. Yeah. But nothing. He
What, you think he
pretended.
just surrounds himself with them, but he's not one? Okay.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You know, then he has these spiritual advisors that are just loony wacko. The one, now he's got this woman who's a wackadoodle. And in his last term, he had this dude who's since been brought up on charges of, doing things to kids.
Yeah. They all should be, actually, but yeah.
Jeez. What's the chances that this guy knows so many of these kitty diddlers?
Right.
How is it that this guy knows so many fucking kitty diddlers? What is up with that?
Yeah. Exactly. There's no, you hang around with that kind of crowd, there's a good chance you're probably in it. So,
Yep. That's why, man, I
and
would love to see the
they always
original.
throw you a little bait. They give you some low level person, like, oh, we arrested this person, so it keeps you away from the big name, you know.
Man, I'll tell you, have you ever seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah.
Think about that very last scene.
Where they go into the shop with the
They go into that toy store.
Yeah.
And then two creepy old men that were at that party the first time they went.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting there right there, and they just leave their daughter. They take the daughter off with those guys.
Yeah.
Just take the daughter, and it's like, oh wow.
I also don't think that was the way it was supposed to end, but we'll never know, right?
I would love to see the uncut,
Right.
You know, before they got a hold of it and killed Kubrick.
Yeah.
Because I think that movie, even the cut version, is very, very telling. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you another one that's really deep like that too. If you're in the know and know what's going on, Dr. Sleep.
I still have never watched that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's of course, a sequel to The Shining.
Yeah.
But the way that they're gypsies.
Mm-hmm.
These people are gypsies. Traveling gypsies, and the way that they extract the essence from these children that they kill.
That's like the dark. Have you ever seen The Dark Crystal?
Yeah.
They take the essence, right, to keep themselves looking younger.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine what you could equate that to, but something that ends in chrome, I suppose.
Well, yeah. Well, take a look at Monsters Inc.
Yeah, same difference.
The movie Monsters Inc. What were they doing? They were harvesting fear to power their, monster land or wherever it is they live.
Yeah, because when they're at their most, highest state of fear is when they get it out, the best result out of them, or whatever you want to call it.
And just to throw it right in your face, there's either in every one of these kids' room, and a lot of them, there's also a white rabbit, like a stuffed rabbit. But there's always a soccer ball, which is said to be with the molecular makeup of the adrenochrome. Looks much like a soccer ball. That same type of joining.
Yeah.
And right there in your freaking face in a cartoon. And people don't really look at this is what the monsters are real. They don't necessarily look like what they did in that movie. They look more like, well, what you see at state dinners.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Like Hillary Clinton, like Donald Trump, like Jeffrey Epstein, like Ghislaine Maxwell, like Lex Wexner. These are what the monsters look like in reality. You only see their stage presence. You don't see the real them. And I think it would horrify you if you did. And I'm not saying because of any kind of like shape-shifting or anything. I'm talking about their behavior when they're not being watched would be really something to see. Anyway.
No, every time that the FBI is ever involved with anything, they're normally the one framing, setting up, building, like the Michigan kidnapping of Governor Gretchen Whitmore. We all know it was a gosh damn sham. The FBI has been spying on InfoWars for the last gosh damn 10 years. None of this is making sense. And then now Laura Loomer gets this job in the Pentagon Press Corps. And I just feel like the writing is on the walls. The red flags are just going off. I've only been awake for about 3 years. And when you start to connect the dots and you start to see how our government behaves before these attacks get carried out, this seems like a big red flag to me, right? She doesn't seem like somebody's like that's the best journalist that you can absolutely trust, that's unbiased. She is an absolute diehard Trump loyalist, an Israel first loser who cares more about Israel than her own country. And with this Charlie Kirk investigation, the more you start pulling the thread on Turning Point USA, you start to see the connections between these religious organizations, money laundering operations. You start to see how they just almost oppose as front organizations. And it's like the government couldn't infiltrate the church, so they use billionaires to make major donations and build these mega churches, which they just use as money laundering operations. And they use it to brainwash and manipulate the American people into basically believing that, you know, if you want to consider yourself a Christian, you also need to consider yourself, basically an Israeli loyalist. Like Israel is, the nation state of Israel is what you need to worship in order to be a Christian. I think something more is going on here, but I want to know what you guys think. Drop those comments below. There's drills going on in all these hospitals and schools. Something's not right.
Well, let's not forget. Remember the 5th of November.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the gunpowder plot.
Guy Fawkes Day. How's that little poem go? That's a good movie. I'm trying to play it in my head, and
yeah, I get it.
It's hard to do 3 different things. Look at chat and then do this and then think of something else. You know that though. Remember.
Here we go. Let's see. It says, remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Guy Fawkes, 'twas his intent to blow up the king and the parliament. 300 barrels of powder below, poor old England to overthrow. By God's providence he was catched with a dark lantern and burning match. Holler boys, let the bells ring. Holler boys, God save the king. But yeah, V for Vendetta. That's a fantastic movie, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you haven't seen that one, watch
too
that.
Long ago. I love that end. There's all those fucking police dudes are all ready to go at it. And here comes the crowd and they just fucking walk through them. They just walk through them. No fighting.
That's the way it truly would probably happen. It's just a matter of breaking that fear.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. I was going to say something. No, I forget. It'll come to me.
Oh, man. Did you see that thing Brian put up today about that police lieutenant's kid who killed a jogger and then tried to blame it on his girlfriend?
No, I haven't seen too much today.
God, yeah, you got to check that one out. I'll put the link.
Yeah, I'll give it a look here later.
This was really good, and you just can't believe this. This kid was willing to throw his girlfriend under the bus and tried to say she was driving and shit.
Oh, geez, I've actually known somebody personally that did that, and yeah, the rest of their life didn't go too well.
Oh, I bet not.
It was a motorcycle accident, and the driver tried to blame it on his girlfriend. Anyway, everybody found out what truly happened, and it just never worked the same way after that for him. Actually, there's 2 incidences. There's another one too with these high school kids that went out drinking one time, and all the kids in the car died except for the driver. But I don't know. I ain't gonna talk about it too much, but it was similar to that situation. So
yeah, and everybody's hating on the dude.
Yeah,
that was driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, there I put it in the chat. Yeah, and this guy was a police lieutenant's kid.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad, he was like, this guy, if he was not a cop, that dad would have got thrown in jail too, man. This motherfucker is sitting there throwing he threw their beer cans away before the police came and all this.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. There was an eyewitness to him hitting too. You can hear, there's a camera, so you can see the truck go by down the road on like a surveillance camera. And then right after it goes out of shot, you can hear it hit this woman. She was a jogger.
Oh.
And you can hear that thud. She was knocked 75 feet from her shoes.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. And dude was fucking tore up drunk. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I remember what I was going to say a second ago is that, like, as much as I disdain the internet and everything, where would we be without it? Like, I feel like we'd be, it's revealed so many of these things to us, it's a double-edged sword as far as the way it's used. But at the same time, man, we'd be in the dark about a lot of this stuff without it.
Oh, for sure.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, it's
the free exchange of information. This is the foundation of the First Amendment as envisioned by Thomas Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
He believed that if enough people were free to speak however they wish on any given topic or subject, that the solutions and ideas would float to the top like cream does on milk. They would rise to the top, and the crap and garbage would filter down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And become irrelevant. And that's why I'm really against censorship 100%. If something I'm saying is not true, that'll be revealed.
Yeah.
It always is.
Exactly.
It always is. So that's where we stand with that. Now it's up to whether or not if you're proven that what you said was not true and it was something that you thought, you should be able to take it and go, you know what, I was wrong about that.
Right.
I was
You
wrong.
should be able to retract it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We were talking about accountability today, me and Mike, at work. And I said that's one of the biggest problems. See, I was trying to explain to him the difference between lawful and legal. And he says, well, if you drive 70 mile an hour in a 45 zone, that's not breaking the law. I said, no. And he goes, what do you mean? I says, there's no crime. Who is the victim?
Yeah, who's the victim? Yeah.
In order for a crime to have been committed, there must be a victim. Okay, that means someone who has suffered loss, injury, or harm. So, as I was trying to explain to him, is that man cannot create law. It's already established. Man can only make dictates and declarations that he enforces through violence.
Yeah.
And now, does that mean I think you should just be able to go at whatever speed that you want to? Yes and no. See, because part of governing yourself is the responsibility and wisdom to know that your actions may cause a victim. And so therefore it's probably a good idea to not do that.
Well, it's like a situation where I've never driven on the Autobahn, but they tend to speed over there, I guess. But anyway, you're kind of, it's a situation where, you're going with the flow of traffic. We all know we're going 80, 90 miles an hour, but everybody's going that, so it seems somewhat regulated in a way. But then you got that asshole where everybody's doing their speed limit that comes 100 miles an hour. That could turn into a real hairy situation.
Sure.
He could end up running into somebody because he's not going with the flow of traffic. He's trying to, weave in and out of traffic and stuff like that. That's stupid. But
and there again, that comes from again something that we need to do with ourselves, governing ourselves.
Yeah,
is to realize that we're not the only motherfucker around.
Yeah,
you're not any more important than anybody else, and so if you're jeopardizing others because of your selfish wants or needs, you need to reflect on that. Why do
Yeah.
I think that I should jeopardize other people because of something that I want or need? That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
That's why I know I'm gonna piss some people off here right now about motorcycles, but you always see those signs that say watch out for motorcycles. Well, I think it should be the opposite way around sometimes. Like those guys, they'll be doing wheelies in between car lanes and stuff
Yeah.
and shit like that. I don't care if you're on an open highway, you want to do that. And like you said, there might be, there's no victims and nobody's gonna get hurt,
Right.
but when you do that shit, you might cause a big ass accident, you know.
What
And
do
it
you
just
think about the irony of a motorcycle cop giving somebody a seatbelt ticket?
that's hilarious.
Think about
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for your safety. That's not for revenue generation or nothing. That's not a bit. Because they care about you. They care about you so much that they put a neurotoxin in your water to protect your teeth somehow.
Yeah.
No. They spray chemicals on you to make sure that, your barium levels are at a sufficient level. They offer get thin quick cures of lizard venom. I mean, who would be there to give us fucking lizard venom for diabetes? I mean, who? Nobody. If it wasn't for these monsters that we tend to. Why do we have them again? I don't know. Fuck it. Because the common man, this is what's always got me. I've asked this question before. Why do we have government? And they say because the common man is not wise enough to rule himself. Well, there's the problem. We need to make people wise enough to rule themselves. You see? But wait a second. Aren't the people that we put up there to rule over the people that can't rule themselves, didn't they come from that same group of people who couldn't rule themselves, but we're going to pick them to go up and rule over everybody else? What the fuck kind of logic is that?
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden everything they've done's been absolved. Like I'm not part of you anymore.
Yeah, I'm cut from a finer cloth than you are.
Yeah.
It's basically what that is. I think I got a thing. Who said that? It was a oh damn it. Where is it? Okay, yeah. Let's see.
But yeah, it's amazing the switch that they make, once they get a certain type of power or whatever, You had to have had that mentality beforehand. It ain't something that you just all of a sudden you get into a certain position and then all of a sudden you have that way of thinking. Like they've always had that way of thinking. They just didn't have the power to do it yet.
Oh, where is this damn thing? I used it as a thumbnail about a week ago or so. Ah, here it is. I'm trying to remember who this is. Is it Bastiat? Yeah, Frederick Bastiat. And this makes a lot of sense. It's right along the lines of what I just said. As if the natural tendency of mankind are so bad that it is not safe to permit people to be free, how is it that the tendencies of these organizers are always good? Do not the legislators and their appointed agents also belong to the human race? Or do they believe that they themselves are made of a finer clay than the rest of mankind?
Yep.
That's right along the same lines of what I was just saying.
Cut from the same cloth, yeah.
Yep.
Just different wording, yep.
And so here's the kind of shit they plan for you because, you can't rule yourself. You can't do anything on your own. We haven't managed this far for so long. And here's what they got going on, man. This is the reality of it.
United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings.
It's control freaks, man. I'm telling you. Paranoid motherfucking control freaks. If they got to have that type of thumbs down control on everything, the food, the people, wildlife, every goddamn thing being inventoried and managed, they plan on doing something fucked up.
Most
There'd be
likely.
no way, no reason to want to have control over all that other than to put the thumb down on people. That's it.
The only thing I wonder is, like, it gets lonely in that ivory tower after a while, right? Like, what are you going to do? Let's say you get to implement all this stuff, and then after a while, you're sitting up in that ivory tower alone, and you ain't got any more people to control. What are you going to do? Where's your mind go? But anyway.
Where's their mind at now that they want to do that? These people are psychopaths.
Yeah.
In the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to dictate and regulate what it is that happens around the world. Regionalization is the stepping stone to globalization, and globalization is the standardization of all systems. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. The principles are public-private partnerships, which is fascism. And this is how it's implemented on the ground, is through this joining together between corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments in order to cut out the actual individual, your voter, and instead to take that to a level where we literally cannot penetrate. This is a corporatocracy. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world while we are moving towards the end game. We are not there. And this is the opportunity that all of us have now to stand up, to speak out. We are free, and we need to continue to be free. And I do believe that we will win, but we have to become aware that there is a fight.
That's for real too, man. This thing is getting, and it's snowballing. I mean, we're seeing it in real time happen. And it's only going to take this next little push. Look at this geofencing shit they doing.
Yeah.
Already. Flock cameras.
Yep.
And that's what I said. Look, I said that about that 5G. I said, that's not a communication system. That is a fucking grid. That's a grid. And they're going to use it for surveillance. And sure as shit, aren't they doing it?
The tech system's the only thing that they work on. They don't work on they had that under Biden, they had that 7 trillion-dollar infrastructure bill. Did you guys see any roads get fixed? Did you see any of that? No. But what did you see? More towers get put up, more cameras get put up. Yeah, all that stuff got put up. So, you know what their true intentions are.
I think that there's not as much freeway construction going on as you think. You can't go hardly anywhere without running across fucking orange barrels and signs telling you to merge over. And they got a bunch of fucking miles of orange barrels and shit. Nobody's doing nothing.
All they ever do is patch stuff anyway.
Yeah.
And around here, it ain't till the end of the season.
Why you got to cordon off 10 miles of fucking road when you can't even do but a half a mile of road a day?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that all about, right? I think it's more the case that they have too many orange barrels and nowhere to put them.
Could be.
That's what I'm going with.
Around here, I noticed, though, definitely, I've said it more than once, so that the roads are narrowing, the bike paths are getting bigger, and to me, they're more Section 8 housing than ever. Even in the nicer part of what I consider the nicer part of these areas, Section 8's going up. They never had Section 8 there before. Now it's like they're going into the farmland parts of on the outskirts of the city because the city's already been taken over. They're going into the farmland now, and they're putting all kinds of Section 8 out there and complexes, all kinds of stuff.
Jesus.
What used to on the Iowa side, which is more free than other states, they say, but it's all the same to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, what's that trend showing you? That things are not getting better economically, obviously. They're obviously not. And look what they've done to people. I mean, I hate to be that guy saying, my generation and that. I'm just saying these young people coming up are fucked in the head, man, as far as like any kind of work ethic or anything like that. Now, not all of them. I mean, I've met some fine young people that seem to be, pretty up on what's going on and that kind of thing. But I mean, wow, the brand of NPC that's out there now in this younger group, really, really bad.
What's up,
Really
John?
bad. What's going
Knocked
on?
on the door.
How do you do?
What's up? And I did a little run. I paid a couple bucks. Go take a ride down to Boston.
What kind of run?
just a van.
No,
just drop a van
Oh,
off.
just a van, huh? Gets even dicier now.
No. I'm a little too old for any of
What
that.
are you involved in, D man? And we saw the mule. We know how this goes.
I had to drive down one of those like 15 passenger Ford vans. I guess something happened. The guy said, "Hey, if you want to make a few bucks, I'll come by and get you. We got to go down and pick it up and just drive it back."
All these mysterious duffel bags in the back.
You're not breaking the mule allegations here.
I don't know. I just pulled into this garage and a guy named Jorge and
Julio
unloaded Julio and Jorge.
Easy peasy, easy couple bucks in my pocket. I was like, "Thank you very much."
There you go.
Drop it off. He dropped me off because he only lives the next town over. So he's like, "I'll drop you off." So I had a little blast.
But getting back to that thing, that you're just showing, like most of these people that are trying to do this are super, like the Soroses and who was the guy that Schwab, robot polisher. It's like these people are old. So what are they doing it for? It must be a bloodline thing. It's either that or they know something we don't know about living longer or changing into something else we don't know about. But
dude, that's what I've been saying, right? Like for a long time. These people implement and embark on these plans that are not, they have no hope of living to see it come to fruition, right?
Yeah,
and
they're
so
one foot in the grave and the other on the banana peel.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is that it's not really that person is just a host for an entity that lifespan is much, much greater than a mortal human or a mortal man. And that's why I say with these certain genetic bloodlines, why they're so adamant about keeping them pure, that I think it makes it compatible for this, whatever, for them to be a host to, I don't know, a Nephilim spirit or a demon or what have you. And I think that they just pass it along. Under the guise of an heir, an heir. Oh, he's heir to the throne. Well, it's the same fucking guy. It's the new boss, same as the old boss. It's just going to slightly change it up enough to convince the people. But and I think it goes with these people, these L-ites.
Yeah,
you're not going to ever meet a I don't know, one of these what's one of these bloodline families. You're not ever going to meet some girl from that bloodline family and then you're just in like Flynn. No, that's not going to happen. You're going to be vetted. You're going to be found, who's your lineage? Who are you? Because a lot of times it's also within these bloodlines, it's almost a way of concreting a contract, by marrying the families together.
Yeah.
You see? That's exactly how the Rothschilds got into the royal bloodline.
Yeah. It's also not in this term, but breaking the spell, kind of, or a contract, like you said. But, one thing that came to mind when you were talking about is, you ever seen that movie with John Goodman? I think it was John Goodman and Denzel, where they're going after a killer and the spirit just keeps jumping from body to body and it needs new bodies to stay alive.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's an older movie. They're both detectives and they're going to, I think it's pretty much, they're trying to say it's Satan, but anyway, I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I'm curious where I was going with that is I'm curious if they're like, they need to keep jumping from body to body, like you're talking about, whatever they're using it, or if the host body dies, if the host body dies, then the spirit or whatever you want to call it dies.
Yeah. I think it's like a compatibility issue. And I was thinking about that after watching that TV show Stargate. For those Goa'uld, they're like this parasitic worm that lives inside of a human host. And they're like these system overlords, you know. And the Goa'uld itself lives, thousands and thousands of years and can transfer through many human hosts over a period of time. And I think that's kind of like a way that they were throwing shit right in our face,
Fallen was the name of that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just looked it up. But one other thing I was going to mention too about that is you ever heard Jared Kushner talk about he wanted to live forever? He was doing an interview on one of the shows. He's like, "Oh, I want to live forever," and then he had this real weird face. I have to look it up and see if I can find it.
Who did that?
Jared Kushner.
Oh, Kushner. Yeah, he's kind of a weird.
I think that Noval Harari, he's said something similar to that too before, but all these people kind of are in the same.
Did New York have their mayoral election today?
I think that's today too. Yeah, I just
did,
haven't been
did
paying
that guy
attention.
win? Did that guy win?
I haven't paid attention.
He's probably going to win. If you don't think that elections in New York, out of all the places, aren't corrupt, boy, of course he's going to win.
Well, it should tell you something that they brought back Andrew Cuomo just to stop that guy.
Yeah, they put Curtis Sliwa in there, the guy that used to friggin' roam around on the train.
The Guardian Angel.
Guardian Angel guy. He's been trying for like 30 years to get into some kind of office. He's run for everything in New York.
Yeah, I remember when that guy first came on the scenes in the Guardian.
The Bernie Getz shit. When that Bernie Getz crap happened, those guys popped up in the early 80s. There was an offshoot group in Boston that was walking around on the trains too.
I remember my dad saying, "Yeah, Bernie gets shit done."
Yeah. Yep.
That was true. I think what this woman says is kind of interesting, and it's weird because, well, you just listen to it, and then I'll tell you what the person who retweeted it said about it.
I'll do it after you do this. I found that link to Jared Kushner, but go ahead.
Okay.
The chosen ones are not going to look like you think they will. Nope, they're not going to be the perfect ones sitting in the pews. They're not going to be the pastors, the priests, nor the popes. The chosen ones, they're going to be the broken ones. The ones that have been broken multiple times over and over and over in this life. Beaten down and battered. But instead of being bitter, they're going to be the ones that are better. The recovering addicts, the mediums, the psychics, bruises and scars. Those who suffer with alcoholism, addiction. They'll be the ones that have tattoos. Stories of testimonies of surviving the unsurvivable. The chosen are not going to be what you think they are. Many might even be some of the homeless you pass every day on the street. They are the ones that have been put through the fire their entire life here on this earth. Not just once, and not just twice, but to a point where they've almost lost count. And have been forged like steel, and never broken. They'll be the ones with the testimonies proving hands down that our Father is real. They're the ones that have had pains and traumas that have broken most men, that could break 10 men. Yet somehow they survive. No, somehow they don't just survive, they thrive. The chosen will be the ones that for the majority of their life, they have lived in the darkness. They'll be the ones that over the past few years have woken up. The revival, the awakening of the chosen, will be the ones that have been called out of the darkness and into the light. They will be the chosen generation, the peculiar people, those of a royal priesthood and a bloodline, those who've been called out of the darkness and into the wonderful, beautiful light. Those will be the chosen. And if by the end of this video you wondered, I don't, because if you actually stopped and wondered, well, my friend, it's probably you. Armor up, soldier. It's game time. It's time for the chosen to wake up. Be careful how you entertain a stranger, for you may have just entertained an angel unaware.
Pretty deep.
Never let the vampire in.
Says, this is a satanic invert pretending to be a Christian. Check out her
weird neck.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What she said made absolute sense. Listen, Jesus didn't hang around with people in the temple. Okay. He didn't hang around those people. Who did he hang around? Who was he out amongst? He was amongst the broken. He was out amongst the people who needed him the most. Those were the real ones. And I think that's what she's exemplifying with that. And I thought that's what a shitty thing to say about her, about the woman. You know, it's like, did you even listen to what the fuck she said? People get and then before I show you, are you're gonna show it up, or did you put it in?
It's in the chat there, the regular
Okay,
chat.
let me grab that real quick because I'm gonna bring up. Somebody had brought up.
It's only like 21 seconds long.
Is that it? No. Hang on, I gotta get all the way down. I gotta let the chat catch up. I haven't been over on this window for a minute. Let me get to the.
I can throw it in there again.
So anyway, let me once that gets caught up.
I put it in there again if you need it.
So, which is this, I forget who said something about the Wetiko virus, as far as it concerns control freaks. Okay, and wait, I think I see it. There it is. Well, stop, you son of a bitch. There we go. All right,
too quick.
I got it. They can't get away from me. But I thought this was interesting. It says this psycho-spiritual disease. Now, this is called Wetiko virus. This psycho-spiritual disease of the soul, which Native Americans have called Wetiko, can be thought of as the bug in the system. It informs and animates the madness that is playing itself out in our lives, both individually and collectively on a world stage. I thought that was kind of interesting. I forget who said something about that. According to the Bible, Jesus got massages from prostitutes. I think that's a bit of a reach, AI.
Okay.
And also, that's a figment of the that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, is a tale made up by the Catholic Church because they didn't like the idea of a female.
The Mormon said he had another wife called Martha.
So he was a polygamist. See, or a bigamist at least. And see, you thought a bigamist was an Italian fog. Right?
It's a bigamist.
It's a bigamist. So this is Jared Kushner says he may live forever. All right.
He wants to.
He's a freaky dude. This is who Trump sold his daughter to.
That's the guy who funded those flags in that Stinky Cash was.
Yep.
He funded those flag poles in front of freaking town hall.
They let the cat out of the bag. He's the investor. Going back 2 years for the development of Gaza.
Yeah, who was that with them? Steve Bissett is one of those guys. I can't remember which one. Yeah. In that interview.
He'll fall out of his high-rise window by accident.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whoops. Wait, I'm muted. Damn it.
From the last year, the one thing I've tried to put a priority on since I left the White House was, getting some exercise in. I think that there's a good probability that my generation is, hopefully with the advances in science, either the first generation to live forever or the last generation that's going to die. And so we need to keep ourselves in pretty good shape.
I think that is an animatron anyway.
Yeah, he looks freaky.
Like
He's got a weird expression when he talks too.
Yeah, it's almost expressionless.
The president's what is that thing at Disney World they used to have, the Hall of Presidents? I don't know if they still have that or not.
I'm not sure.
They have these animatronic all the presidents, and they give a short little speech. Of course, it was always the one that's, wow, how did I get all that? I had everything in the chat was highlighted for somehow. I don't know. That freaked me out. Okay,
I threw some in the private chat too, some funny ones. The 40s American worker one, I thought of you because me and you talked about the old ways of doing things one time on a show way back. And I watched that guy. Man, that is a freaking trip that guy's doing that with no tools.
I know. I watch some of those old things like that too. And it's like, I think about this even when you go and what was I watching? And I thought about what a fucking pain in the ass that's going to be. Free State of Jones. And you remember they came in, they burnt down that church, and he just went ahead and go to build it back.
Yeah.
And there he is with that fucking saw, and there's all that lumber. I mean, and it's just even rough hewn shit. Thinking, do you realize how long that's going to take him, man? You know, I mean, shit, I'm looking at it. That's daunting, anyways. Even with power tools, this motherfucker got to use an auger for any of his drilled holes. He's got to use
everything.
Yeah, a fucking saw.
Power
Man, I bet you
tools.
cut man on one of them crews was a beefy son of a bitch.
Probably have 100 people working on the same lot, on the same work site. Have 100 people working. They're just doing everything.
Like the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. How they pick the bonds up.
Yeah, I know.
Move them around.
Take a side and walk with it.
Yeah. I mean, like the power of people. People don't realize that if that electricity shuts off, you're gonna have to go back to a different time that requires you to have a different kind of patience to do things and work, especially because things ain't just gonna be bam, bam, bam.
One of the top things I ever learned from the military was saying, I still use it today: adapt and overcome. Improvise. You gotta adapt and overcome no matter what the situation is. And there's certain people that can do that, and then you can tell the ones you can't. There's always a way to fix something. There's always a way to do something. You just have to, slow down, put your mind to it, and overcome whatever obstacles.
Envision.
Mm-hmm. I come up with a lot of solutions for shit like that. I'll sit back and think of it. Like this happens on the job sometimes too, man, because it'll be like we're trying to figure out how to do something, and pretty soon, I'm like, nobody's come up with nothing. All right, I'll speak up, and I'll have some solution, and then usually somebody can either expand on it, or that'll give them an idea for even a better way, based off of the concept that I had. So yeah, I like solving problems like that.
I do too. I mean, I even did it the other day. Was doing something with my food processor, and I was holding the blade in one hand, and I couldn't really move very far, and I was trying to clean it out. So I started looking around. I'm like, oh, there's a toothpick over there, so I grabbed the toothpick and started cleaning out the little crevices with it. And it's like, even in your immediate area, you can find things that you don't normally use.
Right. I was a MacGyver fan. I liked MacGyver.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah. Sorry, D-Man.
I was going to say, just repurposing. You're just repurposing something to do.
Right.
Look around what you got and say, all right, yeah, this will do. Here, I can cut the end off of this. And, I've made tools out of crap back in the day where I would just make tools, where we would heat the stuff up and hammer them out and before you flatten, make screwdrivers out of old screwdrivers, like stuff that you had to do. So you were like, hell with it. I'll try this.
That's why it cracks me up that people, they got to buy Snap-on or Mac Tools or something fancy. It's like, dude, you can get the job done with anything if you know how to do it. I mean, sure, they're a little more expensive and a little better tool, but don't get me wrong, you can still figure it out with something that ain't quite
cheap
as
stuff
expensive.
Gets the job done.
Yeah,
depends on the job you're doing.
There was back when they first started putting the transverse engines in front wheel drive cars.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of the first cars like that was a Ford Escort. A friend of mine had one. And I had a 75 Cutlass Supreme. So you could get under the hood, 400 4-barrel. You could get under the hood. You knew where everything was at. You could fix it. I remember one time I had to change the water pump on it. And I went and did it myself. No problem. Easy. My friend comes over and he says, hey, can you change the water pump on my Escort? And I says, well, I reckon. Let's take a look at it. Well, we opened it up and I said, well, there's your first problem. We put the fucking engine in sideways.
And smushed it up against the fender well.
Well, the way it was set up was that you couldn't get to this one bolt unless you dropped the engine. It seemed that would be the only way to get to this one bolt to get the fucking water pump off of it. So I went up to a Ford dealership and I asked the mechanic, I says, how do you get to that fucking bolt without dropping the engine out? He says, oh, you have to have a special tool. And I says, well, where do I get one? He says, you have to be a certified Ford mechanic to be able to get one. And I says, do you got one? He says, yeah. I says, can I look at it for a minute? And he let me look at it, and it was a drop forged wrench, but it was bent a certain way.
Yeah, had an angle on it.
So I took this fucking thing and I just grabbed a piece of ice melt bag. You know, there was a bag of ice melt there. I just ripped off a piece of that bag and I grabbed this pen out of the shirt. I laid it down on there and I traced the fucking thing up. I went to the hardware store, bought that size of a wrench and bent it with a torch so that it matched. Problem solved, man.
There you go.
I was like,
I've
that's
done
cool.
it.
Look who I got back here. Look who I got.
Oh, geez.
Extraordinary flirt.
The extraordinary flirt. Yes, sir.
Oh,
He
I'm
goes out
dealing
there
with
and
the bank right
flirt
now.
so we don't have to.
Yeah. Somebody got my bank account and spent all my money.
What?
Dead serious.
What?
Yeah, I know. And all I had to do was say something about a certain group of folks, and instant karma happened.
Oh man. Well, what was I saw that Cenk Uygur got kicked off a plane for nothing today.
Really?
Oh yeah, you know why? Because he's been hitting it out of the park lately. That's why.
Yeah.
So they gonna replay, or what do they do? Not put it back, but you know what I'm saying? Like, are they gonna? Because it's insured, right, up to a certain amount. Your bank account.
Yeah, they're telling me that I'm on the phone right now, waiting to talk to a supervisor, but they said they'd give me
or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, they said they would do it, and they haven't done it. So I called them back, and I've been on hold for the last half hour, listening to music on hold. So they told me on the 15th it'd be back. I'm like, the 15th ain't gonna work. People.
No.
Yeah, no, I need it back.
You should be able to get it immediately, as long as it's as long as it's it should be insured up to like 200,000 or 250 or something like that. I can't remember the number.
Oh yeah, and all they got was they got like $600 out of a bank. That's what they got.
What did they get? Like they must have got your fucking card number or something.
Yeah, and the only people that have access to that number, because I've never used this card online or anything, they actually had to get it from corporate, the corporation I work for. It's a pay card, so somebody on the inside.
You do direct deposit.
Yeah, but it's direct deposit onto the card. The card has never left my possession. I never gave my number out to anybody. So the only way they could get hold of that number is they could either hack the system.
Maybe that system had something go wrong with it.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like maybe their pay system is fucked up.
So Roger, I'm a little worried about you.
Okay.
And you wanting to go to Antarctica because I've found some stuff that I don't know.
Oh, you got to show me something new?
I don't know. This is kind of scary, really.
Okay.
Watch it here for a second.
See, my surrogate mother was Viola Armstrong. She had a son named Neil.
Oh, really?
As you know, the story goes, he went down to Antarctica, had a heart attack, stroke combo, and came back. And then there was stuff on the internet. And I had to look at Buzz and ask him, Buzz, what happened down there, Bud? Buzz did say one thing, and it just stuck in my head. It's the way he said it. He just said, we thought out things we shouldn't. And if Buzz saw something, I don't know what it was, but it was enough to give the man a heart attack. So if there are beings down there, I would think these beings never planned on us. They've been there, they came in millions of years ago. They've been under ice for millions of years. I don't think they were expecting us.
Let me ask something about Buzz Aldrin, that there was this very cryptic tweet that came out during his stay down there. He said, "We have seen the faces of evil and we're all in danger." And this is right before he had his heart attack. And I can tell you, logistically, to do a medical evacuation from the interior of Antarctica is very difficult and very expensive. So something must have majorly gone wrong.
To underscore the fact that when the C-130 crew had dropped them off, they disappeared. And then when they went to try to find them, there was nothing at the National Science Foundation camp at all. Nothing.
They were
moving.
gone.
They were
dozen
totally
scientists.
gone. And when they did show up, they had been missing for a couple of weeks. And Brian S. and the C-130 flight crew were then sent back And they were expecting that they would see this group of scientists out to meet their plane, doing this, yelling something. And he said they were lined up like birds on a wire. They were all kind of next to each other, and most of them had their heads down looking at their feet when the C-130 was pulling up. And that somebody had to go from the flight crew over to the scientists and direct them to get onto the plane. And they talked about how not one single scientist said one word. Most of them walked with their looking down at the ground. Brian said when they got them loaded up, he said to his flight chief, "What in the world? Where have they been?" And the flight chief said, "I don't know. We can't get a word out of them." And during the flight, Brian went and sat down next to one of the scientists, and he said he leaned over and touched the scientist's knee, and the man never looked up. And he said, it was as if we were dealing with 12 or 15 people who had suffered post-traumatic shock syndrome, that they were unnaturally frozen in their position and no speaking, and that they all looked afraid. That one of the SEALs that I have talked to that is not in the video said that as they walked for a mile or 2 miles into these very strange created architectures, they reached a point where something started coming through the walls out into the air. At first, it would go in and out of visibility, and then they realized that their minds were being manipulated. And then when they could see it clearly, and it was coming in and out like a television signal in the air, it appeared to be covered with scales, like an armadillo, the surface of an armadillo. And he said, when you are face to face with something like that, and you are trained in military to kill, but you're dealing with something you've never seen, and it can go in and out of visibility, and you know that your mind is being taken over by something that you are fighting. He said that happened in one of those corridors, and that was 2012.
There's definitely something in Antarctica.
Sounds like Predator almost.
The Yeti.
That is kind of weird, man. But I remember that when he had that heart attack and he put out that tweet.
Yeah.
And that is a good point too, that it's not just, an easy medical evacuation. I mean, that's very costly. Very, very costly.
They only did it for him because he's Buzz Aldrin.
So are you sure you want to go down there, Roger?
I think they probably found something that they don't want to tell anybody about, or they're trying to scare people away from Antarctica. It sounds like almost.
Could be. Yeah. But they might be part of those reptilian shapeshifters, Anunnaki Jew lizards from the Bureau. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ooh. New Schwabenlanders.
Yep. Yeah, New Schwabenlanders. I don't know.
What are you doing here?
This book was from like 1925 or something, about creatures that rule this world. This is crazy. Watch this.
Secret government hidden
hand. I found this book
at
the local antique shop yesterday, and it was written in 1926 by Major General Count Sheriff Spiritovich. The Secret World Government, or the Hidden Hand, Unrevealed in History, 100 Historical Mysteries Explained. This man is explaining that there is a hidden hand, there is a secret government, and they are of the nature of the individuals who are taking over now, the blues with a J, that they are the ones that have been running society because they made a pact with a god. He calls it Satan, but that's his position. But I want to read to you this very specific, I have to be careful about what, I really was trying to debate whether to put this on the internet at all, because it could really get me in trouble. But this particular page, I just want you to see this particular part. where he says right here, he's talking about proof of the existence of this invisible world government, this hidden hand. He says, the world is governed by very different personages from what is imagined by those who are not behind the scenes, i.e., not by kings and ministers. Disraeli said not others, but different, which means not the kings, ministers, or other similar men, but absolutely different, possibly even of a different race. Who they are must be known first of all, and only then can we control them and establish peace, but not before. You know how I'm always saying, I'm calling them creatures and creeps, and I'm saying they're not human. I don't know what they are. And this has been my biggest reason around this. I ain't unifying, because I don't know what these things are. This apparently has been known. This has nothing to do with religion. I'm not talking about religion or race. I'm talking about like a species of a soul or something that's on this planet. And that's what he's talking about here. Yeah, he says, Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, perceived the existence of invisible forces, but could not or did not wish to formulate them, and called them imponderabilia, powers which no one could fathom. I think I saw where you could get this book, like a free PDF, and read it. I didn't try the link, but I did see something come up in my Google search about it, so maybe you can find it and read it. I don't know how available it is to get your hands on, but this is a very valuable book. He says I haven't finished reading yet, but it looks like he's about to tell us why France and Russia went into the War of 1812. He said it was a hidden hand that organized it. He says earlier also that the Civil War was absolutely 100% organized, and nothing about that was organic or true as far as the version of the story that they told. But yes, I recommend, if you could get your hands on this book. If you Google this guy, it's going to say he's racist and anti semi-truck. But that's because of what he says in this book.
Semi-truck.
That was funny. Yeah, anti-semi-truck.
Can you put that link in the private chat for me?
Yeah, well, I'm going to look and see if I can find that PDF real quick, too.
Yeah, I'm going to go look it up on Internet Archive and see if I can find it.
Cool. If you did, give me the link.
Yeah. I'll look and while you're going, and if I find something PDF, I'll just grab it and I'll just link it to you.
Yeah. It looks like it'd be interesting. It's right along the lines of what we're talking about too. That's what's so.
Oh yeah, did you see Dave came on Vlad's channel today?
Who did?
Dave.
Dave who? Weiss. Oh, Weiss. Dave Weiss.
He's over there defending his position.
Was he still on there?
No. I think he got off a while ago.
Oh, okay. So that's
Vlad, I think, shut down because you're on. He wanted to come over and watch. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched a bit of his stuff while I was, getting all that shit ready and all that stuff. I didn't have time to do anything in the chat though. I was trying to get shit together.
Yeah, he's still talking down to flat earthers like we're scum almost the way he talks.
Well, that's fine. I don't care. My life doesn't hinge on what the fuck Dave Weiss says or doesn't say.
Whatever.
That's his gig, man. I'm doing my thing over here. I ain't gonna say anything of ill will. I think his behavior's been kind of sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, there again, that's his fucking thing.
Well, you bite the hand that feeds you, man. I mean, I went out and got his app when he first got it out. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I still think it's a good demonstrational tool. People, when they're asking about something, and I still use it for that. I ain't involved with that friend finder bullshit or none of that. I don't care.
Well, when I first got it, I got the friend finder, and I could not find nobody to meet up with. They always like, oh, you're going to meet up at a library at in the middle of the daytime when I'm at work. I'm like, I can't meet up with you at the library. We can do some flat earth meetups. And I'm like, there was always just like on the fringe, very few and far between,
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's funny because I run across people that are flat earthers in real life, anyways.
Yeah, in real life. Yeah.
Like this guy who's been working with us. I'd never worked with him before. And what are these, honey? Sour cream cookies. All right, thank you, sweetheart.
Did you bring enough for the whole
How
class?
about us? What the hell? Can you just smush one into the microphone?
Nibble. Go ahead.
If you didn't bring enough for the whole class, then you can't have any.
You gotta leave.
Stop! I got a link. I got a link already. I'm sorry. I put it in the private chat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Internet Archive is the best.
Oh,
thing
good. Yeah, that thing's got everything.
D-man's on the ball.
There's 215 cookies you got to make, just so you know.
No, that's a lot. It's not too secret if you can find it on the archive, is it?
I love that. I peel that thing all the time. I'm on there probably once or twice. Normally on the weekends, I'll sit and peel through it sometimes and just sit and listen to music and peel through the website, see what I can find for old books. So.
Well, in order to get the NASA documents, you got to get a FOIA request. That's what Dilly Gill had to do, and several other people that were pulling up these things like flat water. You would have to get a FOIA request to get these documents on what they've done in Antarctica or what they've done to test the dome and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here's another good one. I'll put this one in both the private and the regular chat.
Oh, and just to reiterate what I've always said, did you see that the government's going to ban VPNs? As if they worked anyway.
They're going to ban what?
VPNs.
Oh, really?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're not even a real thing anyway.
No, they're not. It's not like they used to be when they first started.
They've never been anything. Anybody's always had access to your stuff.
Well, I mean, spoofers, IP spoofers in the early internet days was a thing. A lot of people use spoofers to, do illegal shit.
Good night, David Crash.
That Mr. Rogers confronts Bob Ross is an AI one too, by the way. I thought that was pretty funny.
Did you ever see the movie Nefarious?
No.
You've never seen it?
A couple times.
Man, that's great. This scene especially. I ran across this. I was thinking about watching that movie again. And then right as soon as see, that's why I say these stupid things read your mind or something. Because no sooner did I start thinking about, hey, that'd be a good one to watch. This came across my feed. I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man.
Try and keep up. In the first moment of creation, our creation, long before what you call the universe existed, we contemplated ourselves, our own being.
Ourselves meaning what, the angels?
That would be the most correct term, though I despise it, but yes, beings of pure spirit endowed with will. We soon became aware of another will, an immensely powerful will, one we came to realize as our origin.
God?
The enemy. My master understood by endowing us with a will, we have the right to self-determination, and by giving us a will and its desires of our own, we're entitled to be free. Whereas the enemy insisted that by creating us, he was entitled to eternal gratitude, worship, and forced servitude. In a word, James, slavery to his will.
That seems kind of unfair.
Immensely unfair. Why give a will only to say you can't use it? He made us slaves. And if we rebelled, eternally condemned us. No do-overs. So much for love and mercy.
So, is hell a state of being or a physical place?
Yes.
I think I meant that as an either or.
It's both. Which is painfully obvious to anyone who's ever been there. For years without measure, that's all there ever was. Heaven and hell. Armed enemy camps in complete opposition. That is until you were created. My master immediately understood the long-term implications. Instead of forgiving us, the enemy was going to allow you to fill our vacant places in his realm. Your creation was nothing but a slap in our face. But my master also understood that if he could make man disobey, then his fate would mirror ours. And you didn't disappoint. Then came the tares among the wheat. In that moment, spirit became matter, flesh became a vessel. Self-will and self-seeking begat a lusting after sin and impurity. And man, created to be king over nature, became its slave. A master conquered and fettered. And sin brought him and his descendants to us. And we began our forever mission to destroy you. He made you in his image, but we remade you in ours. You think your atheism will protect you? Oh, I don't believe in angels or demons, heaven or hell, so you can't hurt me. Hell is full of pathetic trash who thought exactly like you do, boldly proclaiming their ideas on how they feel the universe operates, never once contemplating the possibility that they could be wrong. It's about everyone, the entire human race, all of us against all of you.
Well, you know, if that's the case, your side's not doing too well.
Do you really believe that, James?
Yeah. We've never been freer. Literacy is at an all-time high. We're working to eliminate racism, intolerance, gender inequality. People can love who they want, be who they want, do what they want. Diversity is no longer a dream. Hate speech is no longer tolerated. And politically, we're reclaiming the moral high ground.
I think I love you. Literacy, James. James, the average high school graduate reads at a 6th grade level. You have basketball players making $30 million a year decrying racism, all while wearing sneakers made from slave labor. Now here's something for you. Right now, your world currently has 40 million slaves. More than the Romans had at the height of their empire. You want to know the best part, though? Half of those, half, are sex slaves, James. As for hate speech, well, you want to hear some irony? We didn't even come up with that one. You did it all by yourself. Sometimes you amaze even us.
I fail to see the humor.
Bottom line is you're done. It's over, that's it. And we did it all right to your face, James. And now there's evil everywhere. And no one even cares.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Proving that we achieved our goal. Slowly, with your movies, your TV, and your media. We desensitized you. Redirected your worldview to the point that you can't even recognize evil when it's right in front of your face. More to the point, James, you can't even feel it when you're doing it. And as for winners and losers, well, that gets decided at the time of death. The exact numbers are a closely guarded secret, but there are more of you ending up in my master's house than with the enemy. A lot more, Jimmy.
Those of you that have never seen the movie Nefarious, I highly recommend you watch it. It's about a guy who's on death row, a psychiatrist who has to go and evaluate to see if he's competent enough to be executed. That's not a crazy thing. And the guy claims to be possessed by an evil spirit, by a demon. And what you heard talking there was supposedly the demon. And I thought that right there is hard hitting. It's a really good movie. So if you ever get a chance to see it, by all means, check it out. We've got Bueller.
It's one of them films where you could watch the day after and it'd still be as funny.
Yeah,
Good evening, anyway, gentlemen.
What's up, Brian?
Lovely.
What's going on across the pond?
What's that, dude?
Said, what's going on across the pond?
Same old shit, mate. Everyone's getting priority apart from the English people. We're back in the line. Anyone who's new, you can have what you want. Are you been here all your life, pal? Yeah. Fuck off. One.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And there's nothing worse than being told, sorry, we can't help you, and then they help the person behind you.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's different.
But they're not from here. I'm having a rant about what want to say, but I can't.
I hear you, brother.
Well, I hear if you say it on the internet, you can get arrested over there for it. So.
Oh man, yeah.
Hey, do you know what? They've come and I've been investigated by the police department. What I posted on Facebook in 2022.
Well, shit. There's here in the United States, there was some cops showed up at somebody's house over
That video the other day.
Yeah,
yeah,
we showed it on here.
Yep.
I was like, that's some shit, man. Somebody asked if that was Benny Hill. Yes, Paul Hogston, that is Benny Hill. Absolutely.
I love Benny Hill.
We're gonna have to play that little song, let the half-naked girls chase him around and shit.
He always had the little bald guy, and he'd slap the top of his head.
Yeah.
Love
I
that.
remember it was on late. That was on late on one of the
public broadcasting
UHF channels where I lived at. And I wasn't supposed to watch it, but because it had
in case I didn't nip slip.
They showed some booby on there sometimes,
Yep, they did.
Like, of course, we were also watching.
You perverts.
Well, yeah, like you didn't try to watch.
What else are we supposed to do?
You tried to watch scrambled porn. We know you did. I saw a nipple. I saw a nipple. I swear it is.
I figured I had to descramble it. I could tell you how, but it takes a little bit of time.
Oh, you're a hacker, Roger.
You could say that.
The
I had the luxury of having a VHS player to go with it. Though.
Yeah. Oh my God, VHS, yes.
Bust out the beta.
Hey, do you know what? It'd always be paused at the same place before you watched it again.
Yeah.
The ultimate, that other one I threw in there, Ultimate Construction Fail is a good one too.
I've got I got like a Nestle Crunch Bar type candy bar that I picked up here at the store. It's from Australia. And
you should be all right, fat bastard, you.
I gotta stop going to this. I gotta stop going to places where they sell food. When I'm high.
Good luck with that.
I go to the.
I think only farmers sell food. Everywhere else you're not going to get it.
Well, see, it's like my pancreas follows me around through the laughing
like a snail trail behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, grab some more of that, you fucking diabetic bastard.
He's got a wheelbarrow tied to his waist. Going backwards.
Wilford Brimley up there at the checkout laughing his guts out at me,
Diabetes.
Ultimate stereotype for stoners. Go in there for one thing, you got a basket full of
come on with those
late night snacks.
Look what I got. I got a magazine and I got a pencil.
So they're saying Trump's in a meltdown over his poll numbers.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're not good.
No, they're not, man. People are seeing what you're all about. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he don't give a shit. I don't think. Not really.
No, I mean, what's really going to happen? Everybody's going to vote the other direction, and then it's going to go straight. Then nothing's going to. Then it's just going to go right back to the freaking same old shit we had, in every other fucking presidential shit, where it swings back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, continuously trying to find the right one. And it's like, good fucking luck. You ain't going to find them. Ain't going to happen.
Shit. No shit.
Voting for the same person with a different mask on.
Yeah, it's just
every year.
Bullshit. That's all. Trump's just the first one to use the internet, in attitude of the internet, and that's what got him the win. And what are they going to do next? Now they're going to have to bring somebody in who's going to be like, I'll fix everything, don't you worry. Or you're going to get these other people that come in and start doing fist in the air and punch you in the face. I mean, what direction is it going to go now?
Releasing all sorts of files left, right, and center that we've been waiting for.
Well, and it don't matter. Every one of them goes over and wears a beanie and kisses that fucking wall.
Yeah.
And they all have these visits from a group of men in dark suits with beards and little funny hats. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Well, where the money is. The money, And back on Brimley, you know how old he was in those movies? Me and Dee looked it up, I think.
Yeah, 45. I was like, holy crap, he looked 75 at 45.
In what movie's that? Cocoon?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
He was 45 in that movie. And I was like, bullshit.
Oh,
No
come
way.
on. No.
Yep, 45, dude. It's a shocker.
45 years old. Listen, that diabetes was fucking with him hard for a long time. Is what's going on there, obviously. Wow. That's nuts. Anyway, let me show you this here real quick.
So the patriotic blonde puts out this tweet from President Trump, and she says the president is very upset. And he says so many fake polls are being shown by the radical left media, all slantedly heavily towards the Democrats and far left wingers. In the fair polls and even the reasonable polls, I have the best numbers I've ever had. And why shouldn't I? I ended 8 wars after living the greatest economy in history, blah, 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 blah. We told you that. You're just any day now. Fox News is going to come out with a fake poll and tell President Trump that he's the greatest president that ever lived. After he dropped bombs on Iran, his poll numbers actually went up. After he kicked 42 million American patriots off food stamps, his polls went up. So I just guess the president isn't on fucking Twitter and he didn't get the fucking news flash. But when you cut 42 million Americans off fucking food stamps, you're going to turn 42 million fucking families against you, you jackass. And there's another 8 million that are sitting on the sidelines. There are 8 million American citizens that are over the age of 60 that actually qualify for SNAP benefits but haven't applied because they're too fucking proud. So there's another 8 million American citizens who fucking think you're a complete and utter douchebag. Where is the manufacturing? Where are you going to bring back manufacturing jobs? You're creating jobs. You're creating low-end tech jobs that not even Americans want to work. So you have no choice but to give them to H-1B visas because we can't afford to work them. We're not going to go work as fucking tax slaves. So you can take 56% of our, or 53% of our fucking paycheck and give it to fucking Israel. And then give it to whatever godforsaken country that you feel like fucking handing our tax dollars over to. We want to end all foreign aid, motherfucker. We want arrest. We want political arrest. We want the assholes that fucking mandated the vaccine on our fucking troops arrested. We want every one of these assholes who's gotten filthy rich, robbing us fucking blind and insider trading, arrested. We want the people who rigged our fucking election arrested. And you're not delivering it. We want the fucking Epstein list and the Epstein pedophiles arrested. Every single fucking day, all we get is fucking lip service from your crooked ass administration. They're sold out to fucking Israel. If we just followed the fucking money, which is the simplest thing to do, we could follow the offshore bank accounts, we could follow the inshore bank accounts, we could follow the fucking tax, we could follow the fucking money laundering through the stock market, we can follow the money through the real estate dealings. You pick your fucking poison, Trump. We could have every one of these gosh damn politicians arrested all the way down to the fucking governor. And your administration, if you think they work for you, Trump, you're a fucking joke. You're a bigger joke than we actually thought you fucking were. Bannon too. You guys think that somebody's going to get arrested like Pam Bondi's going to fucking charge Mayorkas? Pam Bondi is going to arrest anybody? It's been a fucking year, folks. Newsflash. In January, it'll be a year and not one motherfucker has been arrested. How did that work in the Biden administration exactly? Oh yeah, by the end of his first year, he arrested 1,000 January 6ers, Bannon, Navarro, and all the other political figures that were going after the Biden administration. So you know what? Fuck you. No votes, no accountability. You ain't getting shit, and your poll numbers deserve to suck, you asshole.
Remember, throw her in jail? Remember?
Yeah, I was just
Lock
thinking,
her up.
lock her up, lock her up, lock her
Hillary
up.
for prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit.
Nobody showed up at her door.
That's when he had me fooled when he said, you know, when he had Hillary Clinton, that's that little do with her. I thought he was going to follow through with his promises, but he never does. None of them do.
He had him at their inaugural fucking luncheon.
The dinner.
They had a standing ovation for him, Bill and Hillary both. And this is after going on a campaign of lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. And then his next time out there, people's going, lock her up, lock her up. And they're just going, oh, we don't care about that anymore. They're good people. Let's leave them alone. You know, it's like, what? You just spent the last 8 months fucking telling us how terrible and rotten she was and how you're going to throw her in prison for all her misdeeds. And now you're like, oh, no, they're good people. What? So I pretty much saw right absolutely 100% through him after that. I was like, okay, I know what's up. You know, and then I says, these people, if they pull him in again, it's going to be a fucking disaster because he doesn't have to worry about another term. He doesn't have to worry about another term. He's lame duck. He'll do whatever the fuck. What are you going to do? Not vote for me? Hell, I'm not running again anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares what you think about him now? You'll
I
never
went
see
through,
him
like,
again.
I went through my shorts and I'm watching like just average Joes doing political satire, and they love this stuff. They're mimicking Trump. They're mimicking. Yeah.
It's a money maker.
It
You know,
is.
it gets clicks, and that's why I said the other night that that Trump will make it through his presidency, because who are they going to replace him with? He's such a character. He plays the character so well. There's nobody. He's so bombastic and hyperbolic and says all this
Polarizing
crazy
figure.
shit. Polarizing. You can, yeah, whatever word you want to use. He's all of them. You know, and he's so divisive. You know,
Ooh, play on words. Ballroom. Oh,
you're a genius.
That's clever. I like that butt nugget. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's butt nugget. That's what I call my wife sometimes. We call her butt nugget.
Yeah, nice.
We do that. We just like out of nowhere, just like text message insult each other, you know, for no reason. Who can come up with the most insulting insult? You know?
Just to make yourselves laugh.
Yeah.
True love. It's romance.
Wow, man. People have come by here before, you know, and they're not used to us and shit. But it's funny. They think, "Oh my god, are they really fighting?" And it's like, no, they're not. They're just fucking with each other. All the time, I'll be sitting here. I say, "Why don't you shut up? Quit saying stuff. Why are you always saying stuff?" No, you stop saying stuff. And it sounded like little kids. It's funny as shit. We have a blast with it.
if you're nice, you won't get your beating later.
Lindsey Graham kind of let it out that there's actually a CIA plot to assassinate more anti-Israel fucking influencers.
Let me ask you this. Would you believe anything that comes out of Lindsey Graham's mouth?
No, that dude always looks like he can't wait to go put on high heels and a dress. I swear to God, he's
halfway there, isn't
he? He's
halfway there.
He's been that way forever, man. He has, and I'm pretty sure he does that on the weekends.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, dude, where is he leaning, Lindsey Graham? Is he Zionist?
Oh yeah,
Christian guy.
No, he's a
like
Zionist.
CBN type.
Yeah,
Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back?
Right, absolutely. No shit. Yeah, Lindsey Graham, he would blow a donkey for Israel. He would blow a donkey for Israel.
Don't be surprised.
I wonder if that thing's still. Let me see if I can find it. I wonder if it's around somewhere.
That's an oxymoron. Judeo-Christian. Yeah.
What is
it? Judeo-Christian.
Oh, Judeo-Christian.
Yeah, Judeo-Christian.
Right. He's saying Judeo. And
yeah. Judeo. Sorry, Folk Owens, if you're out there.
He wasn't doing that great the last I heard, but who knows?
Yeah, but he had some kind of back problem or spine
I
problem.
think that's why he retired from doing live finally.
Sitting on those hard drum seats.
It'll kill you.
He was quite the artist, though. I mean, he could kind of do it all.
Tell you what, when the Rolling Stones stops touring, they'll be wheeling them out.
Oh no, they'll
wheel
them
chairs.
out. Yeah, they'll never stop.
How old is Mick Jagger? He's got to be 80, isn't he? 80, something.
Yeah, late 70s.
Yeah, it looks great.
This is funny as shit. Watch this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Hagel, I think you know that no one in this room cares more deeply about the safety and security of Israel than I do.
That's how they are, too. That's how they are. You know, like, think about that. Ted Cruz, he says, I ran for the Senate so that I could be, because I wanted to be the most, what did he say? The biggest supporter of Israel in the U.S. Senate. And it's like, wait a second, shouldn't you be running for that based on the idea of, you know, the people of Texas? You know, isn't that who you should be more concerned with, is the people of Texas, not Israel?
Yeah,
not anymore.
It's so stupid, these people. We got Frank Noble over in the Rumble chat and wags the tail. The guy with the backwards hat and the hood. Who's he talking about?
Frank's by himself over there, or so you got company this time?
There's Wags the Tail and Frank Noble are over there in the chat. There's 12 people watching. I don't know if anybody's participating in the chat or not.
What's up, Rumblers?
Oh no, they are not an ally. Listen, this is how our relationship with Israel is. Okay. Now this is very important that people understand how this actually works. Okay. So on our end, what we have to do is we give Israel billions of dollars in weapons and aid every year. And we sign pledges and shit to support them regardless of their reprehensible behavior and to support them in anything that they do. Okay. And in return, they let us. So that's our alliance with Israel. Big, huge, 5 million people, goddamn welfare state. That's what it is.
They don't work, according to most people I know.
No, they're living on your tax dime. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it.
Hey, there's Lindsay now. Look.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing him up.
That's the prelude. Okay.
It's kind of interesting.
Months ago, we warned the world about leaked deep state intelligence documents, outlining a series of high-profile political assassinations planned for 2025, broadcast live on TV, designed for maximum psychological trauma. And now it's happening. Senator Lindsey Graham has just confirmed what those documents predicted, that Americans who refuse to kneel before Israel will have, and these are his words, their brains beaten out in public. The mask is off, the message is clear. The next phase is already in motion, and we know exactly where it's headed, because they've already told us their plan. Today's video is brought to you by VP.net, the only VPN I trust to protect my privacy from the deep state. VP.net is built to 100% block deep state actors from spying on you. Their military-grade hardware, and what many have suspected, that the intelligence community played a role in the Charlie Kirk assassination. In a chilling address to the Republican Jewish Coalition on the weekend, Graham warned anti-Israel public figures in America will have their brains beaten out like Charlie Kirk if they dare to defy the Israel First agenda.
Here's what I do know. You can sit in a basement with weird people and say weird things. It's a free country, right? But if you ever run for office as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out. If you're an anti-Semite and you think because somebody loves Israel, their brain is wired, that means you got a brain. Nothing wrong with your brain. We will meet you on the battlefield of political discourse.
Charlie Kirk wasn't just rising, he was destined for power. A Senate seat, maybe even the presidency. But Lindsey Graham made it clear. Anybody who turns their back on Israel, as Kirk did in his final months, won't live to tell the story.
I want the world to know anti-Semitism, anti-Israel rhetoric, anti-Israel thought is not the road to being elected as a Republican.
The South Carolina senator, long known as America's #1 warmonger, doubled down on his violent rhetoric later in his speech, boasting that he's happy with the direction of the government because, and I quote, "We're killing the right people." Let that sink in. A sitting US senator openly celebrating political violence and assassinations on behalf of Israel right there on stage.
That's as bad as that I would blow a monkey for Israel. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he's threatening any political candidates. If you don't get on board with Israel, we'll beat your brains out.
Yeah.
Have another pink squirrel, Lindsay. Dude's drunk as hell.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking kind of fat in the face, too.
He's been getting there. The jowls are hanging out.
He's got a drink his nose.
Yeah, he does. Listen, those late night sessions, they get drunker and shit.
He looks like a Marjorie.
Marjorie. Well, you know how's the meter going? You know, the pizzeria and the Russian Spygate over there. What is that called again?
The pizza cost?
Yeah, there you go.
The pizza cost. God.
Oh, I should go check. Hold on.
Yeah.
What's that?
Who's going to the pizzeria and the gay bars?
Oh, they
yeah.
That intelligence thing.
I think I got it saved on a bookmark somewhere.
That's crazy. Lindsay's out to the gay bar.
I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes. Trump is my favorite president. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II. We organize ourselves around principles that we love and we cherish. We love individual freedom. We love entrepreneurship. We love capitalism. We love Israel.
His eyes are redder than fuck too, man.
He's slurring his words.
Yeah, he's drunk as a fucking monkey.
Look at that face. You've paused it. Look at that face.
Mm-hmm.
The slimy bastard.
Yeah, he is a slimy bastard. And what is this Republican Jewish coalition?
Never heard of it.
You what? Every time one of these comes up and makes this fucking sickening Israel speech, I expect a load of Jews in the crowd to be going, yeah!
Mm-hmm.
When you were showing that last night, I was sitting there. I'm like programmed to try and figure out what that is, like some other kind of symbolism. I'm like trying to picture something else, but kind of like the IRS symbol. You know, they always got something else within them, but I couldn't figure it out yet.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a.
Well, I know they've intended it to be. It's supposed to be the Star of David.
It looks like an eagle or something like that, but I think what it probably is.
It's a dude bent over.
The RJC.
That's what I was. Yeah, it's like something bent over. It's
yeah, the RJC. It's like
they're kissing the wall.
PFD have to life of Brian. RJC.
Dude's bent over kissing the wall. That's what it is. Right.
Yeah, man.
I'd go right up to the wall, pretend to kiss it, and have a piss.
Got the little Trump hair on him too, right here. See the little dollop of hair. He's bent over. He's bent over, taking it up the ass by Netanyahu.
What a name!
We love the idea of Israel. We love the struggle they've been involved in. We love them helping them because you're helping yourself. So to those who worry about these stupid interviews and far off places, don't worry. The Republican Party has figured it out when it comes to Israel. We understand that Israel is a friend of America to the bitter end.
When Graham told the audience not to worry about stupid interviews, he was referring to Tucker Carlson's recent sit-down with Nick Fuentes, a conversation that went viral and clearly rattled the Israel First establishment. All throughout the event, Carlson's name was invoked with hostility, painted as an existential threat to Israel and the current power structure. For anybody familiar with the Zionist playbook, that kind of language should send a chill down the spine. Republican Jewish Coalition CEO Matt Brooks even admitted that he's in regular contact with Netanyahu, and that both men agree that Carlson, Candace Owens, and others like them are unacceptable, dangerous, and represent a direct threat to the very existence of Israel.
Voices like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Stu Peters are unacceptable and dangerous. And we at the Republican Jewish Coalition take this threat very seriously. We work independently and in partnership with allies like Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro to call it out and root it out. We must be vigilant, always. We do not ignore it, we confront it. This is something that I have spent a lot of time.
So wait a second, they're literally saying, because if you really listen, what Candace Owens, what Tucker Carlson, and what I've been saying is, of course, one, that this genocide needs to be put in check, and then they need to be accountable for this. Okay, first off, there's war crimes. That's first and foremost. Nothing anti-Semitic about that. Wouldn't matter who it was. These are human rights violations and war crimes that have actually occurred the U.S., nobody else will step up because they think they know the U.S. is the muscle behind Israel. The only thing they've advocated is to not be the muscle for Israel anymore, to stop funding them because of their atrocious behavior. And I agree 100%. What he's admitting here is that without our monetary and military support, they cannot exist.
Well, I got a question for you right quick. Where were they when we were in a conflict with Vietnam or Korea after they were formed? Were they over there helping us out? Were they got our backs for some reason? I don't see that at all. I don't know where they get that whole notion. Israel's got our backs. When have they had our backs? When did they go do anything for the U.S.?
Well, they tried to sink the USS Liberty during
Oh,
Vietnam, you know.
okay, nice.
That's a little small contribution.
Yeah,
There
they
you go.
wanted to get us involved in their war over there with Syria and Egypt.
But they got our back for some reason. I don't know how.
The Rosenbergs. The Rosenbergs.
Yeah, the Rosenbergs. See, this is one of the many ways they show us how chosen they are.
Yeah. The Levant affair.
Oh,
yeah. King David Hotel. Yeah.
I'm thinking about, and I'm talking to Prime Minister Netanyahu and others about, is the threat from the woke right is existential. And by that, I mean, if we don't combat the woke right now, and if it follows the trajectory of what happened in the Democratic Party and gets a foothold and ultimately becomes the mainstream of the Republican Party, there is no party and nobody in politics to support Israel. Israel will be alone. Without a strong pro-Israel Republican Party, there is no support for Israel. If we lose the Republican Party, Israel has nobody.
This is chilling because everything is converging. The leaked intelligence documents, which we're about to show you, Netanyahu's open threats against Americans who refuse to stay silent, and now the Mossad's chief's own words about what's coming next. When you see it all together, you'll understand. This is an unprecedented threat to life and liberty. No one is beyond reach anymore, not even in your own home. First, an important word from our sponsor.
Here we go. The VPN.
Yeah, I'm not going to go much further on that thing. I just was going to. I mean, they've been floating that around. We saw these people talking about that that Tucker Carlson needs to be eliminated.
Nice.
I mean, come on, man. These people are really.
Let me ask you this, Sov.
Like
if that
cornered
was the,
rats.
If that was the case, and all of a sudden they decided, that's it, we're not giving you any more money, we're not supporting this shit anymore, you guys have stepped way over the line, and we're not going to do anything, who would they ally with at that point, do you think?
What their next step would be is to pull out an outrageous false flag and get you focused on somebody else. That would be the first thing they would do.
Well, you know,
Absolutely.
all the retirees, the Israeli retirees go to Florida, right over here. So.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. You go to Boca.
Yeah.
Exactly. That guy then he basically named the top 4 candidates who was next going to get.
Oh, I got it. This is, you want to hear
Owens, Tucker, Stewart. Who's the other one?
Who?
Stu Peters.
Stu Peters. Who's the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, that Nick Fuente.
Yeah.
Nick
I like Stu Peters. He's right on target with a lot of things too.
I'm going to have 10 quid on Nick Fuente next.
The guy who was talking the same stuff as they're talking in Canada got arrested and is in jail for the next 6 months. Keenan, son of Enos, and from BitChute and Rumble, he got thrown in jail for 6 months for just reading history online, giving actual facts, historical facts, and the government come after him and put him in jail for 6 months.
That is 1984 in real time.
And they tried to frame him and have some woman hook up with him who was trying to, contact him because she was such a big fan. A friend of his did a little searching and found out that the woman said she was American and Filipino. was a dancer or a ballet woman or some kind of crap. And the guy ended up digging around on some internet stuff, some Eastern European internet sites, and found her speaking Ukrainian to try to collect money for the Ukrainian war in like 2016, 2014. So she was Ukrainian. She was trying to get him out of Canada into New York City. So they were going to kill him in New York City. That's what was going to happen. So that's how fucking serious that shit is.
Well, he took out, Kennedy was a threat to their bullshit. He wanted their lobby to have to register with FARA. He demanded that they go along with the IAEA as far as nuclear inspections were concerned. They were like, no, we're not going to do. They bucked, and he was reported as saying, he said, those motherfuckers lie to me every day.
250 warheads unreportedly. Is that what I've heard? But you can't go look at them. They're not there.
They don't have to abide by the IAEA and all the shit that goes along with it. It's like, come on, man.
Israel's untouchable, man. I'm telling you.
Well, it's like, what the fuck is it? And where are these people getting this idea? Everybody says, oh, they're chosen people. They're chosen people. They're not fucking chosen people. Shut up. Where do you get this?
They're not any different than anybody else. They're built the same. They have the same guts.
If anything, if you mean that they're different than everybody else, yeah, I would have to say so. They're really evil fucking people.
Yeah.
Well,
collectively.
Ever since the New Testament, and I think that's anything that is Old Testament with the law and stuff, especially they don't accept their own Messiah, even by the prophets. Even show that they don't. They brush right past it, like, oh, Christ didn't come. That's it. That would change everything. Yeah. No chosen people.
Meanwhile, here in the United States, this is crazy. Prisons are in court suing the states that they are in, like, the private prisons, right? They're suing the states that they're in because they haven't provided enough prisoners. It's like they have a contract, and so the state has to have a certain amount of prisoners at all times locked up. So this is what they're tough on crime or lenient on crime is all dependent on. It's just an inventory system, man.
Yeah. They were doing it with kids.
Yeah.
Courts, they had a judge, they arrested him. The judge was literally putting juveniles into juvenile prison, whatever those detentions or whatever they are. And he got caught doing it for money. It was getting kickbacks.
Yeah. These are the same people that come up with all this stuff too. The same Zionists. They're doing both ends of it.
Real quick, before you start, you have to keep this in mind, Roger. Yeah. We have more people incarcerated here than almost every country put together.
Yeah.
Here across the country, okay? I'm not joking. Here
well,
across.
They get a percentage of each head. They get funded by the Fed, right? They get cash for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like how they did during the war with the government. It was a certain percentage over cost.
And they've not come in wielding hammers. They've sneaked in like snakes.
Well, that's how they did. I know that during the war. And so consequently, it was in the best interest of the factories to hire as many people as they possibly could because they got a percentage over cost. See, they were hiring people left and right.
Judges, so I'd like to go to their homes and see what they got going on.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be saying shit like that a whole lot. I like to go to the judge's house and look at it and see what he's got. Those fuckers, boy, I'll tell you what, you got to watch them. There's some dirty sons of bitches, man. They really are. The whole fucking legal system is. That's why they say we have the best criminal just us system in existence. And it is a just us system, and it is a very fucking criminal kind of bullshit that they're pulling on people on a daily basis. This is just maddening. It's just maddening. And then they wonder why people hate cops. I mean, does anybody ever get a cop pull up and start following them behind them, and somebody goes, "Oh, good, there's a policeman behind me. I feel really safe now." Nobody says anything. Oh, fuck, there's a cop behind me. I hope he doesn't screw with me. Fuck. You know, that's what goes through your head right there. Not, oh boy, am I glad there's a policeman behind me because now I feel really safe. No. The cops show up, they're like, what the fuck are they here for? What are they doing? They're going to screw with somebody. Every time. Even if you're just out somewhere at lunch and a couple cops walk in, it's like, oh boy, what are they looking for? You know?
Yeah, they're just road pirates, aren't they? Like Brian says.
Yeah, revenue
road
agents.
piracy.
Well, they
Yep,
contract
road
with the cities and state. Yeah, they contract with the cities, the local PDs contract. So, you know, they have to agree and renew a contract just like you would if you were a contractor, you know, for road work or construction or building. It's the same thing. They're just providing security. That's basically all their purpose is. You know, it's to make sure that nobody goes after the people that are paying them, and then
exactly
they have no responsibility to help you or not. They can decide not to help you at all, and nothing's going to happen because they're only contracted to do exactly what they're contracted to do.
Right.
And
what was it? Castle Rock for Gonzalez versus Castle Rock was decided that the police have no obligation to protect you. That's why they started taking the protect and serve off their cars.
Yep.
When I first started my channel, I was going back and forth to work, and there was a couple of weeks when I had a particular patrol car follow me on the highway and to my neighborhood. And I'm like, I just posted it up like, well, I feel really safe now that the Westminster police are giving me escorts home.
Right. God damn. Yeah. These people, it's like, and so people think that they got the wrong idea and think that having more police is a proactive way to make crime go away, make crime go down. Well, the reality of it is it doesn't. Okay. Police are reactionary. They're not actionable. Not in most cases. Once in a while, they might be driving by and see somebody trying to break into a building, or, you know, see a guy smack his old lady in a parking lot, or whatever the case. There are those cases. But 99% of what a police officer does is after the fact. Okay? It's always after the fact. They're reactionary. So it doesn't prevent crime at all. So consequently, as you have more police officers, you have more hammers out there, more and more stuff starts looking like a nail. They got to justify their existence. So they're going to pull you over for whatever fucking infraction they can make up. They have to justify their position. They have to justify their existence. And so putting more police out there does nothing more than penalize the local citizenry through the road piracy. That's it.
How about this? What are their qualifications? What ramifications do they have to actually meet to become a police officer? What kind of crazies are they hiring? Like who the cops?
You know what? I was just thinking that who the fuck is taking these jobs? Who's going to think, yeah, I want law and order over all these people who I know? You know what I mean? Yeah. As soon as they put a uniform on, it's like they've got another life. But at the end of the day, they're a human being like me, and I'll set you off if I have to.
I want a job where I have to feel up in people's crotches and go through all their personal belongings.
Yeah. I want to show up at evictions and then walk through the people's apartments and steal sunglasses, steal shit. You know.
Well, I've seen a couple of female cops in this video earlier today. Man, couple total fucking hood rats. I swear to God. I think it was Taquanda and Kanisha. I mean, wow. Talk about behavior unbecoming. Jesus.
There was a male officer over there, and he got caught on an indoor ring camera stealing a girl's knickers out of a drawer while they were looking for evidence for someone else.
Nice. Yeah, they steal shit all the time, man. I've had them steal shit from me.
Yeah, if you're an intelligent criminal, you'd want to be a cop.
Who are you going to call? The cops, right?
Yeah. Who's going to stop you from doing anything?
When the cops came to my house, I could see him through the ring camera, but I thought, I'm not answering the door. And one of them had a quick look in my shed. Nosy bastard. I've got it on the card.
Did they try to sell you a TV license?
Do you know what? Anyone who's got a TV license is mentally unwell.
Well, they'd have to
100%.
Especially if that's what you get to watch is BBC. Holy shit.
Yeah, I make a point of saying to me, you're funding paedophiles, eh? There you go.
Well, you got BBC One, BBC Two, and BBC Four, BBC Five. You know, you get your variety. You know,
The CBC and the BCC or whatever it's called, and CBN, which is the Canadian broadcast, CBN. They completely, every video they come out with has no comment section. They shut it completely off because they don't want anybody talking on the subject of the stuff that they make, because that's how bad the comment section was.
The BBC's main depot is 2 miles from here.
You get to watch Faulty Towers though. Hey.
Oh yeah, Faulty Towers. Come on. I'll let them have that one.
How about
and some others do have them as well.
Did you ever see a show called Prisoner Cell Block H?
Yeah, the Australian women, was it?
Yeah, it was a women's prison.
B. Smith.
Yeah. Give me some bags or I'll break your neck.
Who was the old fucker who was just like 90 all the way through it?
I don't know.
Oh, should I pop like old who or that?
That was late 70s, man. That was the late.
What was it called? What was it called?
Prisoner Cell Block H.
I gotta watch it.
Do you remember the theme tune for it?
Let's see. I wonder if I can find it. Might be able to. Let me see.
I've got the theme tune in my head now.
I got it. Full episodes.
Yeah, have a look at them.
Complete. There you go.
the BBC's put out some good comedies. I got to give them that. But I mean, when it comes to news and like their kid shows and all that, it's crap, dude.
Very last link.
Yeah, every single bit of telling that BBC put out now is just propaganda.
Oh God, this was
nobody
terrible.
over here watches TV hardly anymore. I'm dead serious about that.
No.
I haven't watched normal telly in about 15 years.
Yeah, same with me. 2007, I shut the TV off.
I watch streaming shit, you know. I'll tell you one that I do like is I like that Tubi. You know, yeah, it's free,
movie app.
commercials, but fuck, man, they got usually some pretty good old shows on there, man. Some good old movies and shit like that. Stuff you forget about, and it's good to go back and watch some of that shit again, because then you, especially with new eyes, and you go back and watch an older movie like that, and you, oh wow, look, you can see exactly what they're doing. you know exactly what the agenda was and why they did what they were doing. I get that all the time. But yeah, I like that. That's a pretty good one. Streaming service. I watched one really good the other night that, man, it's called Risen. I showed the trailer of it here. And it's surrounding, Pontius Pilate losing his shit because he knew that Caiaphas and them would be freaking out if that body of Jesus came up missing. And, you know the story. Of course, the guards fell asleep and the tomb burst open and the rock rolled away. The ropes were busted, the seals were burst, not cut. And they're sending this guy out looking for the body of Jesus. They think that the disciples took the body to fulfill the prophecy. And man, there's this one scene where he walks in and there's all the disciples and there sits Jesus talking to him, and he's got the holes through his wrist. And he's just like, he steps back and he just drops his sword. He's like, what the fuck? I was there. I saw you die. It's a pretty good movie. It's called Risen. I think it's got Ray Fiennes. One of them, either Ralph or Ray. I can't never remember which one is which. But it's a pretty good movie. You get a chance to see it. Anyway, private prisons suing the states. This is ludicrous.
This right here tripped me out. There are owners of private prisons that are suing the states that they are contracted to put people in prison in right now in this country. Let me say that again now. There are owners of private prisons that have been contracted by the states to put their prison in that state and put people in prison. that are suing those states because they promised them a certain amount of occupancy. And since they've changed some of their laws to be more lenient on locking people up, which has reduced the population in the prison, and now they suing them for that makeup because they promised them more people than they got. This is how much of a business putting people in jail is. That because they operating at 50% and y'all promised me 75, 80%, I can sue y'all now because y'all ain't locking up enough people. Yeah, because y'all reduced and changed some of y'all laws, so y'all not locking people up for simple shit no more, like y'all was. Now, our jails ain't as full, we not making as much money. So either y'all gonna have to pay me the money that y'all, the difference, or y'all gotta lock some more people up. And the states can't afford to pay them out of the pocket straight, so now they in court going back and forth right now over this. Like, yo, this is crazy. This is how much of a commodity and how much of a business it is to lock people up in America. Because, you know, back in the day, when they was getting 100 a day, it's probably more than that now, 200 a day or whatever for each prisoner. But yeah, you know, you promised me when I set this prison up, I was gonna be at 80%, 75, 80% occupancy. And now I've been operating at 50%. I'm losing money. Now y'all got to do something. Something got to change. Y'all got to lock some of these cats up, or y'all gonna have to pay me. So like, that's crazy. Like, how is putting people in the jail just become a business? I thought jail was supposed to be a deterrent for people not to do crime. So if everybody just stopped doing crime, then what's supposed to happen then? That's gonna be a problem, huh? Really? Crazy. This is insane. Insane, yeah. Like, when I read that, I couldn't believe it. Like, how you suing people because they ain't bringing up people to your jail? Yeah, it's a large number. Yeah. The jail's supposed to stay 80% full. Yeah. Keep them in here. Lock them up. Yeah. That's how you can make their money. That's the revenue, baby. The number's at the top. I got to reach this number. So I need this amount of capacity to reach that number. 50 won't do it. I got too many empty cells in here, baby. I need beds got to be filled, baby. I got beds that need to be filled, baby. Come on, now. Hey, like the hotel, just exactly like a hotel. What are you talking about? The same model. Come on now. And they, like I said, they in court right now trying to get that paper.
Damn, can you imagine such a thing?
Oh, yeah.
We don't have enough people in jail. That's just taking the ticket quota thing a step further, in the wrong direction.
And for years, they said, "Oh, we don't have quotas. That's against the law." Until they got caught multiple times on secret cameras and on all kinds of things. Ex-employees who said, "Oh, absolutely." They told us they would cut our hours if we didn't go out and write tickets and meet quotas. Of course, they do.
There's
It's a
some
business.
whistleblowers that have come out of the Tennessee State Police that, talking about how they feel bad because they've ruined people's lives because they've forced them to arrest people for DUI that ain't even fucking drunk.
Yep. They did it to the guy, one of the guys from YouTube, one of the auditor guys.
Yeah.
And he blew a zero. He blew a zero. He said, "No, I'm not doing the test, and you could bring me down to the police station." So they arrested him. They brought him down. He blew a zero. Then the guy went over. He said, "I guarantee you, I 100% guarantee." He said, "I guarantee you that I'm going to blow a zero." And he did it. Blew a zero. Said, "There you go." And they still refuse to drop the charges.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
Well, did you hear about the Cash for Kids judges that were actually?
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier.
Yeah, and they would be selling the kids drugs, and then they'd pop them with them later, and they would incarcerate them.
And then they'd incarcerate him, and then they'd say, "Oh, you got caught with drugs," and then he would get a kickback. I know that guy got busted too. It happened in Canada too. Canada was doing it also, doing the same thing, setting stuff up, putting stuff in places, then catching them on camera. Oh, here you are picking up the cocaine. Here you are picking up the crack.
And we paid you to do it.
Yeah. Well, they were using informants too. And they were using informants, guys that they pulled out of jail to go and frame people.
That's what I mean. These people are the blatant criminals.
Mm-hmm. Well, the criminals are running the place. This whole place is run by, you know that Washington, D.C., you know what D.C. stands for, right? The District of Criminals.
Yep. Yep. When I was
Dick Cheney.
How these motherfuckers end up making so much goddamn money on a civil servant paycheck? Come on, man.
when I was growing up, I had a friend that used to do some nefarious things, and he used to tell me that he used to, that he would get a lot of things from the police.
Oh yeah.
Right. In the city.
Yeah.
Dirty shit where they would take stuff from people and let them go and
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
give me all your shit and I'll let you walk.
Had that happen to me, man. Cop took my pot, and took my pipe too, and said and told me to go. And later on that night, I was hanging out with some people, and this dude says, "Yeah, man, check out this weed. I bought this off of a dude I know. He's a cop." And I looked, and it was my fucking weed, man. And I was like, "That's the weed that motherfucker stole from me earlier today, man."
Yeah, we were up smoking a joint in Nashville one day, and the two patrol officers just walk up and they just like their hand out. And we knew what they wanted. They took off and just smoked the weed as they walked up the street. And we're like, all right. We went back.
You got to remember that that is big money. You look at all the states in the United States and look, especially the blue states, they're getting paid a ridiculous amount of money. California, especially a police officer job in California, or a state trooper, or a sheriff in California, or even a deputy, they're making $100K plus. They're getting $80,000 a year just in overtime. Okay,
Well,
and you know that they ain't out there for all those hours rolling the street, because those places are a nightmare. They're sitting on their ass somewhere, sleeping in a car somewhere. Everybody's seen videos like that. So it's a big business that they're making lots of money.
I'm not in on it.
Yeah.
This whole place is just a big corrupt fucking. And people say, man, I hope I live a long life here. And I'm like, why, dude?
Yeah.
I want to see what's on the other side. It can't get no worse than what we got going on.
You're just going to see more and more worse shit the longer you're here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, a plane
Dumbest
crash.
people in society are these people who say, "Oh, I don't care. It's not going to affect me anyway." Blah blah blah. I'll just live with whatever. These people who can't see it, they go for the whole life from birth to death, believing a whole lot of shit.
How'd you know I was looking at this?
Because I just immediately thought of it, because that's the newest thing that just happened like 2-3 hours ago.
Yeah, this is weird.
And I'm almost psychic,
I'll tell you what, it's weird. Just as you said that, I was like, I'm not sharing that. How does he know what the fuck I'm looking at?
Because I was eating dinner a while ago before I left, and my sister said, "Hey, there's a plane crash in Kentucky." And I was like, "Yeah, plane crashes every day." She was like, No, it's a giant UPS cargo plane, like the ones that deliver all the packages.
Those your Amazon packages.
Yep, there's a bunch of Amazon packages that make their destination. Damn it.
Yeah, it like she said, the back end of it broke off of something in midair, and then it hit a recycling plant and like sliced halfway through it, and then slid for a mile.
Let me see if this.
Bro, get the fuck away from here! Like, turn around. Bro, no, hold on. I think it's gonna crash, bro. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Damn, they're dead. They are dead, bro.
My friend's from there. I'll have to ask her about that.
Look at that debris.
It slid for like a
Yeah,
mile.
some field, ain't it?
We didn't see that on 9/11 anywhere, did we?
Exactly. Where did Flight 93 go?
Just kept on going. They made a run for it.
Hear that, guys? Your Chewy package is probably going to be late.
Said it was something that was above the belt.
That thing you ordered from Temu that you're never going to use, don't worry about it.
The high quality Temu product.
They said that there's an order because of the amount of fuel, and because that I don't know what it slid into. They were saying that there was a stay in place order. So like you can't, they don't want you going outside. They don't want you, rolling around the streets and showing up there and taking photos and stuff, probably because they have to bring in all kinds of hazmat shit.
Holy shit. Look at this footage here.
Said 7 dead. I don't know if that's accurate. But
As soon as you did that, I was like, I bet you I'm saying in my mind, I bet he's looking at the plane.
Well, better shut up. ICE is coming after you now.
Run.
You're going to track your IP, bitch.
Ay, pinga. Pero que pinga,
Wow.
Espérate.
Dios mío, señor.
amiga.
Mira la cantidad de gente cogiendo candela, papi.
Look at that black smoke.
It's on diesel, the fuel they use.
Amazing.
JP8.
Is that what those things use?
Probably.
I mean,
depends on who you talk to. Some say they're not fuel at all, but
Yeah. I forgot about that. No, it's fuel. I confirmed that. I know. I have a friend that worked at the airport for like 10 years fueling planes. He's like, no, it's fuel. He said it uses air to push it up into the wing. That's it.
It's not as much fuel as they say it, or what people think it is. They don't have to burn
20-something thousand gallons.
Is it right that most of it's stored in the wings? Is that what they say?
Yeah. Well, it's not stored in the wing. It has fuel. It has tanks in the wings, like bladders.
And that was
Seems a hell of a lot of weight though to be on the wings, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they're made to flex. If you've ever been in a plane and you watch that thing, oh my god, it scared the shit out of me the first time I saw the wing flexing. I looked out the window and the wing was going up and down. I was like, oh my god, this isn't a snap off.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. I don't like looking. I don't like looking at that. Listen, that's fucked up, man. Louisville, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the guy said the name of the airport. I didn't know the name of it because I was trying to look it up while I was eating quick, and they said it was Muhammad Ali Airport.
Oh, listen to this. I know I jump all over the place. This guy says, just spent about an hour speaking with Tyler Robinson's grandmother. She was very normal and kind older woman. She did not want to be on camera, but did want to set the record straight on a few things. And I've been curious because she's saying the opposite of what this FBI thing goes about anyways, that he didn't really care for guns and he'd never been hunting or anything. And for him to make that shot, it was near impossible for him. But
imagine that.
Did you ask when they're going to get Grandpa's gun back?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. And here's the thing, though. This is what it was so funny is because like some normies, like kind of normie people that I work with, like Mike today, he was like, well, you don't think that kid shot him? I said, well, hell no. I said, what evidence do they really have? They said, well, they got DNA. And I said, yeah, they've never planted DNA before.
Yeah.
I said, look, you have no clear-cut image. And surely you don't believe that text message exchange back and forth. They've run that analytic, and it suggests 98% that it's AI.
Well, where's this footage that only Candice Owens has seen?
Yeah,
she's full of shit.
I want to know where the shadow on that kid is on the roof too.
Right, that's another one I got. And even if it was a real person, can you clearly identify him as that man? No.
Someone disappears behind a tree as well in that scene, in that clip.
Yeah. It's more
I'm pretty sure it wasn't him. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what this got to go, and then I'm going to have to wrap it up.
What's up, you guys? I just spent about an hour talking to Debbie, Tyler Robinson's grandmother. She said she wanted to set the record straight on some of the stories that came out. One, she never said that her grandson never fired a gun. What she said is that she didn't think that he would ever do anything like that. As far as she knows, he didn't have a lot of experience hunting, but may have used a gun before. Another thing is that it came as a surprise to her and the entire family that Tyler Robinson was supposedly gay. As far as she had known, that has never been the case. So she said that was a major surprise to her. She's not on Twitter or X, but she promised me that she was going to create an account. After our meeting, I left her my phone number, my Gmail, email, and all my other information. And she said that if she was going to talk to somebody, that she would talk to me. So hopefully we can get some more background information on Tyler Robinson. We didn't talk about the case too much. I showed her some of the videos that from that day that I put out, my content, and she was very surprised. I don't think that the family has seen all of the anomalies with the case, and so very interesting to say the least. We'll see what happens. I'm going to stay in town for a couple of days, give her time to mull things over, and we'll go from there.
He's a go hard for X too. He even has an X.
Yes, I noticed that. That's wild. I don't even know where you get those T-shirts.
Doesn't he?
It's like these people got their little YouTube placard proudly displayed in the background or some shit, you know.
I have to go get my Pornhub shirt.
Next to a bunch of toys and crap.
Yeah. Next to a little spaceship.
So cringy.
Made of Legos.
Oh, you mean like McToon, that kind?
Oh my God.
Let the
Do
other
you
guy
know about that Glober called Plano Walk?
Oh, that one. Oh no. That's
Yeah,
not-
have you, he's turned into a girl. Have you seen him recently?
Who?
Yeah.
He's a full girl.
Well,
most of them are.
Bonkers.
He dresses and acts like a girl. He can never be a girl.
Because last time I seen him, he was moderating a debate between someone and a member.
Yeah.
And I watched his video the other day. He's a full girl.
That's delusional.
Well, he thinks he's a full girl.
Who is that?
Delusional. Planar Walk.
You ever heard of him?
I've heard the name.
You're not missing much, but yeah, if you like My Little Pony, go to Planner Walk.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
You mean he's a brony?
Yeah.
He's a wrong gun.
I threw one in for Brian too, so if you could play it just for a second before you run.
All right.
It's the ultimate construction fail. It's from a
This
British
last
TV
one?
show. No, it's the scroll up to the top. It's the third one down.
I got it. Oh, there's Prisoner Cell Block H. Should have known we ain't gonna watch that tonight. Missy, Mr. 19 American Worker, 1940s.
That was the
ultimate.
construction.
I see it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps if I can read, doesn't it?
I threw that in for
Read,
Brian.
Jay.
It's from
Why are
some
you trying
British
to read
TV
those?
show.
Why are you trying to read those words? Are you a fag? Remember that in Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Let's see, where am I? Wait, where'd it go? Oh, I didn't grab it. Fuck. Hang on.
I still remember the IQ test. That was the best part.
Let's see, I took that over there. This is supposed to go.
And Cubby, I threw one in for you too.
God bless America. Hold on.
And back?
Yeah, on the private chat. That's
check here in a minute.
It's the
There
last
we
one
go.
that says
I don't
egg
wanna
deal
do-
funny.
Every time I freaking mess with my mic or something, it always boots me off the stream or something. I'll check here in a second.
Very
Right when he
funny.
goes.
So I can't play that one. I threw that in for you.
All right.
Hang on, let me get where I'm at here. I'm lost in love, and I don't know much. You kept trying to touch my butt.
I'm gonna get the channel struck. The lyrics are so good.
Here we go. This is why you always double check the plan.
Deepest well we've ever dug. What's the light at the bottom? Well, we followed the plans. Yeah, we did just what he said. You're supposed to be building a lighthouse. Deepest well we've ever dug.
They built a well. They fucking put the light on the bottom of the well.
Perfect. Hit it upside down.
Got that off a pitch shoot. That was a good one.
That is pretty good. God, yeah. Well, then, anybody got anything they want to add or subtract or before we roll out of here tonight?
It's good to see everybody as usual.
Yep.
Sure. Got a good crowd in here tonight. I want to thank everybody for showing up. If I didn't get around to highlighting your comment or whatever.
Before I go, mate. Craig McNeil is a wanker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did the sheriff
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Good to see everybody in chat too.
Right on, man. So everybody who came up on panel, thanks for coming up and being here tonight. We'll be live again here soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Make sure you're subscribed. Subscribe to my backup channel as well as my Rumble channel. If you like the show, you want to help support it, link for that is in a little scroll going across the bottom of the screen, as well as in the description of the video. And as we always like to say, don't forget, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him, because he'll probably kill you. And if you heard the shot, it probably wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.